4 of the playoffs. Jen Lee here alongside Quack, of course. Now, Quack, we have a busy day of Valorant going on today. 3-gamer today. When was the last time we had 3 gamers? I think it was all the way back in Istanbul for me with the champions, but I don't even remember.
Wow. Oh my gosh, and there were turd bugs and stuff. But anyway, yeah, it's been a while since I've done like 3 games. It has been a while. Well, I'm actually not doing 3 games today. It's more of you.
Damn.
So I kind of feel bad for ditching you, Jen. Bye after this.
But yeah, just to explain the 3 gamers today, it's because it's due to the power outage that some players experienced, and we were told that they're all fine. Hopefully they can perform in their best condition, but we do have a crazy day going forward today, so you know it's gonna be super exciting. Look hype, Quack.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm
See,
hyped
you have
up.
hair
I'm hyped
like
up.
standing up because you're so excited, yeah?
Yes, and also we want everyone in the Philippines to be safe and be at home and play more Valorant and watch more Valorant too.
Okay, promoting Valorant.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we are going to have SISU and BOBA first today, and then after that, it's gonna be Elimination Day for us here in Game Changers. We're sending 2 teams home. It's always heartbreaking, but let's take a look at the video format explainer first, so everybody understands where we're at and we're on the same page. So here you go.
This is the Valorant Game Changers SEA 2024. There will be 2 stages this year, Stage 1 and Stage 2. There will be an open in each stage and a group stage in Stage 2. The top 4 winners of Stage 1 will be seeded into Stage 2's group stage. The opens for Stage 1 will be held from the 26th to the 29th of March, and the playoffs will be from April 1st to the 5th. The opens for Stage 2 will be held in early July, followed by the group stage and playoffs. In Stage 1 Open, the top 8 teams will proceed to playoffs, and the top 4 teams will be seeded into the group stage of Stage 2. Stage 1 has a total prize pool of $10,000. In Stage 2 Open, the top 12 teams and the top 4 from Stage 1 playoffs will be seeded into group stage. The group stage consists of 4 teams of 4, and the top 2 teams of each group will proceed to playoffs. Stage 2 has a $10,000 prize pool. Visit gamechangers.fsl.gg for more information for Valorant Game Changers SEA 2024.
And thank you, Victoria, for explaining what was going on. So here is the roadmap, or the barracks for the format. So basically, 4 months of grueling journey to playoffs for Stage 2, and now from here, top 3 teams from playoffs go to Game Changers Pacific. We at Zipto qualified yesterday. BOBA only need 1 more. And I'm curious as to see who's going to be the other one qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to the upper semis, which is the first match that we have for today. And we're basically all here to find out who are the top 3 teams. First one is Zipto, like you mentioned. It could also be SISU, though.
True.
If SISU takes down BOBA today, then that's going to be kind of an upset. And then we'll have like the new top 2 for Game Changers Southeast Asia.
Yeah, nothing set in stone just yet, except for Zipto making it to Pacific. So it could be anyone from these teams making it to Pacific. But after playoffs is over, you know, this will mean that the journey for 5 teams here that you guys are seeing on the screen, it's going to be over for this year as well. And only 3 just gets to continue their journey in Pacific. But here's the total prize pool. Everything for everyone to grab. It's always nice to see money on the screen, but of course it will be that Pacific spot that everyone kind of wants to get out of playoffs here.
It is true though, Jen. It is nice to see money on the screen.
Okay.
I wish we got to see more of that, huh? But I mean, really for the players, it's really sad when you put it that way. That like for Game Changers specifically, the whole Game Changer circuit, or just the whole tournament, the whole event. After this tournament, for 5 of these teams, that's it for the whole year, and that's kind of painful. So they always want to strive to do their best.
So you know, more motivation as we get deeper into the playoffs. But we had the upper semifinals between Zipto and Invincible. So here's a highlight in case you missed out what happened yesterday and how Zipto qualified for Pacific. Check it out.
I want to see Invincible, actually.
It was nice to see, you know, Invincible challenge Zipto on this map. And Zipto pulling out that deadlock. And Neri on fire, right?
Yeah, she got like 6 kills in that clip specifically. But like you were saying, it was really crazy because we often expect Zipto, and kind of like you mentioned yesterday, most times in every single map, every single match that they've played so far this year, they've won at a 13-4, 13-3,
13-1,
maybe sometimes 13-1 2 kind of scoreline. But on Bind, because of Angelope and also her teammates Ice, Rosie, Kit Kat, and Elsie, of course, they actually pushed Zipto to 13-9. Then that's really insane to think about.
That's something that they can go back and say, hey, we did really well. Maybe we can make it top 3. So yeah, definitely, I don't think they should treat that as a total loss because it was against Zipto. So, but Zipto looking strong on Lotus. They closed it out pretty quick. But Invincible making all of those rounds feel close, as you mentioned yesterday. It was a tight battle.
Yeah. Some of the highlights can clearly show it. I mean, Camille with the spray down, of course, but I love this one. Angelope has some of the craziest flicks, especially when her teammate's there with her.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, you know, sometimes it's Zipto. It's really that much more difficult because after the first 2 rounds, although every round from Invincible was really close, they always took it down to like the final player from Zipto. But Zipto still ended off with a 13-3 scoreline on Lotus.
Goes to show how strong their fundamentals, communication, and you know how deep their scrapbook runs. But here's the bracket to explain what's going to go down. Today we're on to day 4. We have the upper semis taking place. So the winner of today's match, first match actually between SISU and BOBA, will go on and face Zipto next. And then we have the lower bracket round 1, where we will be sending 2 teams home and Quack will be shedding tears.
Yeah, I'm gonna break down. I'm never gonna recover from this. That's a complete lie. Yeah, it comes down to some of these teams, and they really want to continue forward with their journey in Game Changers. Because for Southeast Asia, it's all about making it to that top 3, where you get to go play in Southeast Asia, Game Changers Pacific, which is held in Thailand.
3 matches on the docket today, as you guys can see. SISU versus BOBA will be the first one, the one that carried over from yesterday. And following that, as we mentioned, 2 elimination matches. You know, to be honest, if I did not see SISU perform the other day, in stage 2 playoffs. I will likely say that BOBA are the definite favorites coming into this, but after watching SISU perform very well, I feel like the first match is going to be the hardest one to call for today.
I have to agree with you on that one. Predicting this match for today is not easy. Same goes for any of the remainder matches, by the way, actually. I mean, look at the cute little logos, but also I think Cardboard Dinosaur actually is a team to kind of look out for. But also Lilacs, just because, you know, Thai representation, why not?
All right.
But specifically between BOBA and SISU, they have played against each other before. But like you mentioned, SISU has gone under a bit of a makeover, shall we say? They've got some new teammates now.
Roster shuffle,
and they did win a lot of their matches with like 13-6 score lines. So
the thing is, you know, SISU with the core of aura differential, right? You know, also BOBA, they have a lot of veterans on their teams, able to, you know, kind of carry them through the pressure and how just intense things can get at this stage of the playoffs. I'm super excited to see which team comes out on top and to see whether it's going to be a 2-0 or, you know, it goes all the way to 3 map.
I actually think it could go to 3 maps. There's a very good chance that it does, because both teams are that capable. And at the same time, we're really just looking out for that one team to challenge Zipto Esports.
So here we go for SISU. Grahams and Sawamura always fragging someone that always kind of clutches. Poli taking over that IGL role, right? And definitely a lot of firepower in this squad. You know, a lot to look forward to.
Yes, the additions are Poli, Paidi, and Khan, of course, coming from other teams like, I think it was Nyx Kyose that they played for in the past, but also I guess they call themselves For Fun after this year began. But what's interesting is the different roles that they kind of bring to the team. It's always the Grams and Sarmura as the duelists, but the other 3 coming into play, initiators, sentinels, what have you.
And then BOBA, of course, we know who they are. Kohaibi kind of taking that charge. But if you don't know these names, you know, remember them, because you will hear their names, right?
Yeah, you hear them pretty often, especially if you've been following Game Changers for a while.
And it's just they had a really good series against Avernus, and it seems like their focus at the moment would be just taking down Zipto, you know, getting over the hurdle.
Because that's always been the story for BOBA, and maybe within Game Changers Southeast Asia as well. BOBA has always been a team that's made a deep run, especially since, you know, Kohaibi being in SMG previously alongside most of the players from Zipto, now broken off, and then they're forming their own team. They've always made it that close to playing in grand finals, but not quite enough to beat Zipto Esports.
Well, for today's game, it's going to be, I think we can expect a filthy battle of raises between Sawamura and Ayumi. What are your thoughts?
I think that's high probability, Jen, for sure, given the fact that they have played Raze these many times, and also they are kind of the de facto duelists for their team. But I also think there's a chance for things to be very different and interesting, just because, yes, Sawamura is the duelist. She does play the Raze, but we have seen her pull out the Neon a little bit. Meanwhile, for Ayumi, she has said before that she likes to play the Sentinel, and she's also someone who pulled out Deadlock a couple of days ago.
True. And now here's a player to watch from SISU, Paedi. Now, tell me all about it.
Yes, so for Paidi, the interesting thing is where she came from. She has been teammates before with like Sawamura and Grams, but the thing is, the way that she plays now for this team, she kind of flexes between the initiator and the controller, and being a new addition, she's actually put up big numbers already. Just playing that Sentinel a couple of days ago for this team, having the strength to anchor sights down and to really give them the additional stability that they were looking for.
And then the player on the other side, it's going to be Baby TZ on that Sentinel role as well, always shining on that Cypher.
Yes, this one's also always fun because Baby TZ, one of the Thai powerhouses, I think, but now, you know, in this squad for BOBA, also really good friends with one of our casters for today. But the main thing is she is a mastermind. The way that she plays her Sentinels, it's always with how she kind of plays traps. She's also a very good op player, so that's always something that you have to watch out for when you're playing against her. But now these days, we're starting to see her transition more over to the Sentinel role, so helping out her teammates like Kohybe, Ayumi with a lot of their duels.
Well, she's someone that can do everything for the team, you know, in times of need. But let's talk about the map pool for each team, because I feel like BOBA, they played all the way from stage 1 all together. Must have deeper map pool than SISU, I believe. But let's take a look at SISU and how they've been doing on different maps. Not too bad, right?
Yeah, not too bad, and they've done pretty well. I mean, you can see a lot of the win rates. Of course, depending on whether or not they've made really deep runs, it kind of influences the sample size of the map pools or the maps that they've played. But so far, clearly, they are pretty good on the maps which favor like a lot more rotations and bigger maps.
Wider
Lotus,
ones.
Ascent, a little bit. Stuff like that.
Now, when it comes to BOBA, I don't think the stats kind of tells it all, because I feel like the ones that they lost would be against Zipdo.
Yeah.
So they're still strong,
right,
despite
actually.
the numbers that you see on the screen.
Yeah, that's. I think you're absolutely right. You can clearly see that they favor some maps more than others, but also because they have that influence from the coach that they have, the, I guess, IGL that they have as well. It's similar map pools to what Zipdo Esports has. And that's why it's going to be very interesting to watch how this team continues to progress and evolve.
All right, so for both teams, which map would be, you know, a good map for them to play against each other? Because as you mentioned, they have similar map pools.
Play against each other.
So it's like, do you play something that, you know, kind of plays into your strength, or do you play something that's like catered towards more towards your opponents?
You always want to kind of play something. Ooh, that's a good question, actually. Because depending on your coach and how you've prepared for it, right? You want to play something that either your opponents think they're really good at, but then you've prepared a lot of counter strats for them. Or just something that you're more comfortable on, which I guess for BOBA,
Big Sunset
could be a map where SISU isn't as experienced as they are.
All right, so Sunset, Icebox, and Decider map will be Haven. Now, last time BOBA played Sunset was against Zipdo. But interesting, because for both teams, the last time they played a Sunset was all the way in April, of course, and SISU actually lost to BOBA 9-13 when they were over differential, so I guess that's one of the reasons why BOBA went for that map.
Yeah, this one's really interesting because again, these maps aren't exactly. Well, I guess in a way, it's maps that they've practiced a lot on, but it's also maps that they want to play against their opponents. So there's a very specific reason for that. I guess it's partially comfort picks, but also the fact that they kind of are familiar with how they play against each other, especially having faced against each other before when SISU were aura differential from the start of the year. That was a mouthful. But yeah, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Whether or not they've kind of fixed everything that they've gone through before, and then coming in today now with all the adjustments that they've made.
Now, that is exactly why it's going to be hard to predict who the winner of the first series of the day is going to be, but we do have to give out our predictions. So you can go first, Quack.
Okay. Am I the one going first, Jen?
I'm the host.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. I'm sorry, host. I guess I am going for BOBA after all.
Safe pick?
Yeah, safe pick. I mean, that's the main reason, right? It's based on statistics, based on everything that we've seen from before. BOBA did beat Aura Differential, which is kind of the old SISU, I guess. And they just seem like they really have what it takes, you know? And they're playing different compositions. They're trying new things out. Even the map picks seem to be something where they are pretty much prepared for SISU, because Icebox is a map that I think BOBA are pretty much familiar with as well.
Yeah. Well, my prediction will be SISU.
Okay.
Just because I want a little bit of upset, and also I didn't want to pick the same team as you. Those are my two basic reasons. But the thing is, if SISU win, would you consider it as a big upset though?
I guess not entirely a big upset. It is a kind of an upset. It's something that I wouldn't expect based off of stats, but it's entirely likely. I do believe the new additions to SISU might just be able to give them that edge that they're looking for over BOBA.
Right, so as we get ready to head into Sunset, we're gonna see what comps these teams are pulling out. BOBA with Astra and Clove. A lot of smokes here.
Okay. There we go. Yeah. So interesting thing to note, yes, apart from the smokes, is that Baby TZ and Polly used to be teammates from like a year ago. And then now they're on opposite sides. That's always a little bit of a spicy fun when they're facing off against each other. But also the fact that the coaches have different influences as well. The coach for BOBA used to be a pro player himself, being the coach for SMG. And meanwhile for SISU, their coach is a caster who's from South Asia, CA. And it's going to be interesting how they have their different influences. Obviously, SISU having a lot more Filipino players. They're playing compositions that's rather similar to what Team Secret usually plays, having that breach in their composition. So a lot of deep utilities that can reach deep places with that breach. Meanwhile, for BOBA, looking for a bit more aggression with that clove.
Chills. I just love how you mentioned Team Secret, and now I see it. But yeah, so we do have our agent comps as well, and we're ready to get the first map started. We have Holden and Tash Bunny on standby. Tash, I have missed you so much, and hello, Holden.
Aww. It's very, very rare that we get our panel say miss me, huh? Caster's always on the side, never really on the screen, but our voices definitely heard. Thank you so much for that. Quack as well as Jen. Now, coming into today, this is a very exciting one. 3 series, at least for to me today. It's going to be a long day, but I am very, very excited coming into this one especially. We have a team BOBA, our second runner-up, also the rivalry story of how they want to dethrone the queens of Southeast Asia, which is Zipto. And then our brand new runner-up, I think, which really surprised us in the last split. Coming into this one, they look a lot stronger. What do you think, Holden? Regardless, coming into today, for you guys who didn't know and just tuned in, today's series was pushed from yesterday, at least for this one. Unfortunately, our friends in the Philippines had met up with a typhoon. Hopefully, everyone is staying strong, doing well, and we are all here sending love and prayers to you guys. And if you guys can, do share out some resources to help out our friends in the Philippines. Regardless, starting off this pistol, gonna be a very aggressive power. You mean walks up, completely obliterates Khan's head. Straight up control onto Halls here. Pings up onto Ali. Finds no one. The rounds. Taking a bit of time here for BOBA. Nice change in pace coming toward this mid round as they try to suss out some information. Spike still left on spawn. Can see Luca running over to their side. Gonna beat up the teammates over in A. The rotations have happened, but Baby TZ doing quite a number over on the B site, keeping the Cypher Piety at bay, understanding that Piety, one of the strongest anchors we've seen this tournament.
Yeah, I think I'm back. This is my microphone, and you know, after a little bit of a pause, BOBA had found a big gap in the armor. SISU thinking that they might have rotated back to the B side, but BOBA just full contact play. Yeah, and they get control of the free A side. They have so much room to play with. Baby TZ's, you know, even watching on this flank as well. And now this retake is going to be a tough one for SISU's side, as BOBA's got to pick up that flank, and now the last 3 players coming in from CT.
Good pick off. It's all about just that post plant. Graham's
Here.
gonna take out that cam. Pings come through from Baby TZ, all eyes onto the drop area. There's all the footsteps. Delbisky taking out Paiti. Sharp trades all around from Boba. Yumi ending the round with 3. Pistol going to Boba.
Ooh, that was a really interesting one, right? Boba first gets that opening kill onto Con, and then they just call a bit of a pause in the mid rounds right here, and then right towards the very end, you know, Baby TZ's huge kill on the flank just forced the rest of the defense to come in all from a single lane, and that just allowed Boba to set up so many crossfires. It was super difficult for them to get back into the site. So a really nice pistol coming in from Boba to kick things off.
Boba. Very structured style of play. Rifles already to Ayumi's hands. Hoping for that snowball. Coming onto the mid side here, Delbisky, excuse me, finds no one here. But this default play from Boba has left quite a number of question marks. Big gamble from SISU. All 4 to the B side.
Careful.
Might be paying dividends as they burst onto the site. Maybe TZ here all alone. Not a single sound made. As you can hear, smokes put all around Ayumi. Rushing straight into the backside. Misses everything, Aluka. And Ayumi won each despite the utility. Wrap around from Ayumi all from the other side, and it's all Paiti by her lonesome. Classic in hand. She's sharp. But this is an incredible mountain to climb.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to give an out of over, you know, you want to die to the spike. But yeah, Boba showing a little bit of, you know, discipline right here, not going for those eco frags, just holding those crossfires. And yeah, Piety finally gets spotted out. Stun comes in, the paint shells just to flush her out as well. Even a gravity well, all their due diligence just to ensure no weapon gets lost in the mix. And that's a 2-0 scoreline, despite SISU having a little bit of a trap play, saw the stun with the paranoia from the back of the B side. Well, Boba avoided completely, and they clean up shop with only losing a single player.
Really liked how they've been playing this. I think Boba is just sort of understanding how much power and how much potential SISU has. You saw how they've been playing very aggressive, understanding that this change in roster has given them more firepower, and Boba, good read out of them. Understanding why they want to go for these snowball style plays. Ayumi once again doing what she does best. Pushes up halls. Con. You've seen her before. Sharp, but it's gonna be Delbisky that answers this time around. Polly. Dangerous game played. A little bit more passive. Moving out of the site. Still the members of Boba.
Tripwire destroyed.
Just moving into the site carefully, but slowly. Take us so much space here, Baby TZ, good for 2!
Where is every
Getting away with murder! The neural theft finds her.
Planted.
Moves out of the way. Sharp!
eagle-eyed?
2 to her name.
Player
3!
standing.
Kohaibi with the sheriff. That's quite a number. A little bit more of an overwhelm to deal with as the bonus falls into Boba's hands.
Yeah, that's a tough bonus to swallow, I guess, for the Isu side, right? It opened up thanks to Delbisky, just the sheriff in her hands. That was the first kill onto the Omen as well, so he didn't have any smokes for this retake. And yeah, despite Heidi getting a lot of great kills right here, I mean, credit to her mechanical aim, it's a little bit too little too late, right? At that point in time, the man advantage is still in Boba's favor, and that's a rough one. And now that down on an eco round, you only have really that neural theft you can kind of work around with, and Boba just looking to extend the lead even further.
Aluka, sharp as ever, many times. Paiti quickly capitalizing on her teammates' stun. Slowly but surely, Boba come onto the side itself. Sawamura showing the firepower, 3 in hand. A thrifty. They couldn't capitalize on the previous round, but now they do. Not even a timeout used. Great adaptation from SISU. And this is where Boba needs to start taking a step back and understand what the heck happened there.
That was a great stun to kick things off, and then Sawamura back on the side, Baby TZ not expecting that, and then, you know, just a couple of fantastic shots, everyone on the B side just flooding out on their defense to assist in, you know, preventing them from getting the site. And yeah, that is something that they kind of really need, right? A little bit of aggression together. This time around, it's the Long again, stun up onto Yumi. Nice shot coming in from Graham's, and they just back off, disengage.
Blind. Just a bit more space, Baby TZ for one. The trade does come through. Neural theft assisting Sawamura. Quick to pop the head of Aluka here. But Sisu understanding. It's all about just control. Numbers advantage for them as well. They do not want to get multi-fragged and taken out. Boba has done this, both teams. High potential of doing so. Graham's all alone. Been one of the biggest star players here. Last split for Graham's. Stays out of sight. Right behind the box, Delbisky has marked her. But the silence is giving a lot of question marks for Boba. No clue where to go, where to move. Delbisky
Really have the spike though.
yeah, so far onto the side itself. But to find Baby TZ whiff!
Oh no!
Excuse me, Delbisky finds Piety. Fortunate for that. Hybe alone.
30 seconds left. I take
Sharp. Piety quite low here. Hybe. In 1v3, we've seen it happen before, but the high-low from Sisu. Let me just end that round quickly. But Sisu slowly but surely equalizing.
Yeah, that was a fantastic opening fight again. But this time, it's in Sisu's favor. Graham's very nice shot right here. The stun together with the nade, the fade of the smoke. This one, a little bit unfortunate for Delbisky. Maybe a little bit of nerves right here. But yeah, and a good resurgence coming from Sisu off the first opening pick. They were very aggressive as well. They caught the lurk from Baby TZ. And now Boba a little bit more reserved right there. Economy not great this time.
Paint shells, putting them away. Utility jump everything in the kitchen sink, and Graham capitalizes. But 24 HP left. But that's enough. Just put a dent. Baby TZ out of the way, one of the biggest firepowers. Multi-fraggers taken out a team. Doesn't stop Boba for trying though. Rolling thunder all around. Here comes the showstopper as well. Finds no one on the site. Sisu playing a very passive approach. Doesn't check the corner, and Graham's capitalizes. Polly trades. Luca, despite the amount of utility coming at her, punished, but does get the plant. Sisu chaining 3 in a row, and Boba still hasn't found an answer.
And again, it's Graham's to open things up with a crazy entry. Thanks to the stun yet again. It's the duality between the breach stun as well as the aggression from that entry duelist. And they were all played offside, right? They acknowledged the fact that there was a rolling thunder. They didn't want to be caught in it, so they all played offside. And, you know, they completely avoid the ultimate. Showstopper right there. That was a little bit unfortunate, not clearing the full angle. But again, credit to Sisu, 3 in a row.
Same thing. But this time around, Boba hitting the brakes even harder. Sprays onto Graham's. Smokes.
Get him.
Moved out of the way. Taken out. A swing is all she needs. Nearly takes out a member of Boba. Pushing the issue, they get punished.
Polly!
Gives Polly 3. Mosh pit as well. And she goes aggressive thrash. Trying to find the last 2 members of Boba as they quickly run straight onto the other side. Good read all around. Baby TZ on the side, spike.
Yeah.
Very, very well guarded. Great IT. Baby TZ can't do more than that. Sisu, they keep going. And Boba, the question is, how many times are they going to repeat the same thing over and over here?
Yeah, I mean, SISU has been consistently fighting for A main control, and yet again it happens. But this time it's Polly that's got to pick up 3 kills in that situation. It's very uncharacteristic from Boba. I feel like this does not seem like the Boba that we've seen from stage 1. It's not the Boba that we've seen a couple days ago as well. And yeah, I mean, SISU 4 rounds in a row already. This is why they are, that scary team that I kind of told you about. I think they are very much in that spot to pick up that third spot, that third position, I guess, slot in Pacific. But if things continue how it has been, they might seem to upset right here in this upper bracket. Boba, this is just low buy round of theirs. Just gonna gamble towards this A side. It is the correct read. SISU have the majority of their players in a bit of a trap setup towards B main. It's a full retake here on A, so at the very least, Boba should be able to get the spike down and find themselves in a bit of a post-plant situation.
Same thing from Boba this time around. Big aggression onto A, slowly making it their way onto the site. Sheriff's in hand. It doesn't really matter, honestly. I've seen multi-frags upon multi-frags from this team, even on Thrifties. Haven't seen Boba do that quite yet. The last Thrifty, in fact, was from SISU. And now it's all about that weight. Paiti, a little bit back here. Looking to punish anyone in that overheat. 3-way Big Delbisky and Aluka. Pops 2 heads of SISU. A lot more controlled aggression coming through. Baby TZ, the only one in halls. Do they check her is the question. Playing off the flash. Con takes him out, and so does the other members. Ayumi with her teammate. Last 2 here, 2-on-2. Capitalizing on that, but Boba, thrifty round. They make it in the end. Very, very scrappy. But this might be the momentum they need to push forward.
Oh, it's a thrifty, but it's the other side now. Boba picking up their own, and credit to them. They played aggressive in the post plant. They realized it was a 5v5. They needed to fight for some bit of control. This is exactly what happened. Delbisky playing that off angle. They managed to catch the second player as well. So, when it came down to the nitty gritty, when the time was low, down to 2 versus 2, there's so many angles that they still needed to clear. And an important timeout taken by SISU now to really realize that little gap in the armor. And I like that they've taken it quite early on to ensure, Boba don't get a string of rounds just like they did on that eco.
Piety already 10-5. And you know what's really interesting? I mean, we talked about how the panel did, how she was the player that's been putting numbers on the board. Despite the fact being a new player onto SISU, this team playing a whole different comp, a whole different, I would say, style of play since Split 1. Previously, the IGL was Staribun, and I had questions about how they will be adapting to a whole new, core, a whole new members. And seeing Sawamura be able to just quickly transition onto other roles gives a lot of idea on what kind of depth this team has.
I'm not quite certain if it might be a comp issue as well, maybe a little bit of uncomfortability, because this is the first time Boba's running this comp. But it seems like it's going to be a fast one. To the market we go. Oh, Con's being stuck in the open, nowhere to go. Oh, what a shot they hit. Baby TZ with an important trade frag, and here comes the Neuro Theft. They know that it's completely empty for the time being. SISU have to mount this retake, all coming in from that CT position.
No smokes to play with. Doesn't matter though, we have Piety here. As mentioned before, Cosmic Divide. Gonna cut out the site itself. Delbisky, what a hold! Trades as well from Baby TZ. Kohaibi, 1 to her name as Piety. We expect big numbers from her. Baby TZ quickly shuts her down. That timeout.
Trust me.
Hoping to be the momentum killer for Boba. Not happening.
Nope, not at all. Boba, they immediately, off the back of SISU's timeout, they reacted super aggressively, took control of the market, caught Con out. I mean, credit to Con, she hit an incredible shot on the flying rays, but yeah, the trades were there. The read was correct. Again, it was a heavy stack towards the other side of the map. And, they were able to win out that post plant pretty comfortably. So now again, this time, SISU have a bunch of ultimates they can work for. Mid control, taken by Boba. bit more of a default play this time around, taking things a little bit slower.
A lot of mid control. Maybe TZ.
That's respect.
Yeah. Smokes all around onto mid side as well. But hey, B side, it's gonna be where they want to hit. Ayumi touches up forward, walks up straight. Piety with their teammate. Good hold. Piety for 2, in fact. This is the Piety that we were talking about. Many teams scared of her. Baby TZ falls. Looking a bit more of an aggressive stance. Aluka good for 1. Piety still holding the close angle. Luka doesn't know they're holding quite yet. Says a lot of this awareness coming in from Boba, watching their flank, quietly making their way onto his side.
And again, Boba's execute has been completely shut down. I mean, Piety single-handedly destroyed that pincer maneuver, you know, eliminating both of the players coming in from mid.
30 seconds
And from that point onwards, it was extremely difficult for the rest of the team to get onto the side, especially since he didn't have a raise. The raise was towards that market spot. And now SISU, you know, they're just playing together as a team. 20 seconds left on the clock. They're gonna, you know, just sit onto the B side. Even if Boba gets that spike plant, they have the Rolling Thunder for this retake. They can come in together with double man advantage. And it's not going to be an easy one for Boba. They use the star, one of the last few ones available for Hybe. Aluka might have been a bad idea to give Aluka that spike plant, because then she would have the Rolling Thunder. But now they're going to face up the full force of SISU, all hurtling together as one big pack. They have the Rolling Thunder, they have all the utility available on Sawamura as well. So Boba really need to play disruptive here.
Playing separately, you can hear Into the Shadows come through. Kohaibi tried her best to just trace pans for that, can't do more. Aluka flashed out, and Tide moves out of the way. The stun gonna deny her the chance for a double. Sisu looks so good. What a hold on to that B site. The fuse comes out here. Last 2 rounds, and Boba failing to take the lead. The favorites, in fact, for this map. Question marks all around, and Sisu showing us that they have definitely came here to play today.
Yeah, this is Boba's map pick as well, right? This is a composition that Boba has not shown yet. So they have a little bit of the element of surprise, but it seems like they're having a little bit of difficulty, you know, playing this composition to its strengths, which is, you know, you have the double controllers, you have the smokes. You can take control over map space pretty easily, you know, take segments at a time. But yeah, that was a difficult round. Again, shut down by Piety, and a timeout taken by Boba. Even if they win out the next 2 rounds, it's still a decent half coming in from Sisu, all things considered. So really have to decide here. The money's not looking great as well. You have to decide if you want to force into this one, or, you know, you want to take a bit of a half buy.
Interesting enough, if you look at the stats, the last time these 2 teams butted heads was a 13-9. Considering that story, it was very, very close. Both teams thriving on attack side, if you think about it. Now, this time around, it's Boba on attack side first. If Sisu goes into second half, and if it was truly Sisu's side playing on attack, Boba needs to be very, very aware of what's to come.
I will say though, Boba's comp does, to me, it seems like it's a little bit more defense favored. You got those double controllers, you got the Cypher as well. But still, you want to have a good stack of rounds that you can work with on this attacking side. Interesting trip setup by Piety right here, as they are leading towards the side, and she is the only one here though, so she might have to get ready for a barrage of Boba players.
The site, Piety spots him out. Ayumi slowly making her way onto the sites. Tripwire noted, Cage as well. Gonna break that. A lot of pressure onto Ali. Throw out that Roomba. Knows at least there's one there. Rolling Thunder to come through. Pushes Ayumi back into the smoke. Does she know she's there? No, she doesn't! Potentially working against the Piety. Elite's gonna go with their teammates onto the side. The numbers of Sisu players are just too overwhelming for Boba to deal with. And Sisu take the lead
in the half.
6-5. One more round before the half. Can Boba equalize?
What a beautiful Rolling Thunder to stifle that aggression. You can see here, they were all stunned up, flashed up. They even activated the showstopper, but the frag was there before it was even had a chance to be activated. So that was a brilliant series of events coming from SISU, more than aware that they were going to be playing a little bit aggressive towards that alley spot.
There.
And now they have the Thresh for the last round, Rolling Thunder on the other side, the Cosmic Divide as well for this BOBA team. An early aggression down towards B to gain control over that. You put the Thresh in towards B main, they go scout out, find out baby TC's here, but that's a fast rotate indication with SISU that the commitment is here towards this A side yet again.
Cosmic Divide breaks the site into two, and Piety punishes anyone who dares to enter her playground. Not before Aluka has something to say about it, though. Plant.
Lurk.
So silently waiting onto the site.
Hey, baby TC.
Yeah, baby TZ on the mid side here. Con
Wow.
noting her sharp on that too. As the Cosmic Divide fades, no one showing their positions quite yet. The barrage of utility with a little bit more space. Clears out Box. Grahams does the work, and so does Aluka. Somewhere gone, high B. Playing within those smokes, the smoke criminal, call it at that. Call Aluka with 3 to her name. Con is still here. 1-on-1. A flash across. Con plays the smoke, sprays out, and Aluka with 4K. A good round, 6-6 as we go into the half.
Switching
Our
sides.
panel is here to break it down. Let's see what they have to say.
Thank you guys, and 6-6 is where we stand on Sunset at the moment. It looked like BOBA were going to have a dominant first half, but after that thrifty, it was SISU who picked up the momentum. Now the question is, do you think 6 would be enough for SISU to eventually, take away the map?
Very good question. Oh my god, I actually really have to think about that now. There is a chance. I feel like it's entirely possible because SISU has shown that they have done their homework. They've done a lot of prep work, especially with Sawamura on this breach. You can clearly see why they put her on this role, on this agent. The way that she controls the map, the way that she sets up fault lines for her teammates, or even using them for herself sometimes, really throws BOBA in for a bit of a loop. However, what I'm curious about for BOBA is Kohibi with this Astra. Astra is not a very common controller for us to see, especially these days, especially on Sunset. But you can clearly see why they had a game plan for this, especially in that final round of round 12 before we went into this halftime. The way that she uses that Cosmic Divide just blocks off so much of the map and just enables her team to rush into sites. And if she can use similar antics on the defensive side, especially with Gravity Wells and Concusses, using those to stop and slow SISU down in their tracks might allow them to find a lot more pinch plays, but they really need to be timed very well. That's the crucial thing for BOBA right now.
We talked about coordination and the timing and how BOBA might need to make it a little bit cleaner, but we'll have to go and see. So back to you, casters, Colden and Tash.
Thanks very much. Colden mentioned before that this comp for BOBA is made for defense. So what are you expecting here?
I think what Craig mentioned as well, right? You have the Gravity Wells, Kohibi is an incredibly intelligent player, so I do expect to see some set plays, some maybe trap plays coming in as well on this defensive side, playing a little bit aggressive, taking control of map, some parts of the map. In the meantime, SISU now mounting this attacking side, and a little bit of tidbit of information. Both of these teams, when they last met on Sunset, it was the exact same scoreline at the half. It was 6-6. So, history perhaps repeating itself.
A lot of neighbor just to break that door. Graham hasn't done anything on that door quite yet. Her team is just watching there. One way smoke done already onto 8 main. But SISU, they're okay to take their time. Noting, expecting a big explode onto the site itself. Clears out the area, walks straight into that cage. A flash to come through Delbisky. Only good for one, at the very least, going down to her teammate here.
Okay, Con.
Yeah.
She used the TP to bypass the trip in D main, and despite that being a Cypher cam as well as a trip there, BOBA have no idea that Con has bypassed this defense, and now they're just rotating back towards the B side. She's in such a deep spot. She's surely going to be able to get at least one and maybe cut up the rotates, make them force BOBA to think about her position. But for now, she's playing in their spawn. And they have no idea.
Holding a very, very deep angle here. Notice the footsteps. Maybe TZ just passes by, goes down on Luca, notices she's there. Can't do more. Con, very quick, very sharp. Seen her for many years doing this as Kohaibi. She answers back as well. Intelligent, sharp as she is, 2 HP to her name. But in fact, she goes for more! Equalizing a one-on-one here. Sawamura takes her down. Sneeze was enough to take her.
Oh.
But Kohaibi just showing us what she can do. But for area and map control, Sisu is the one that's dominating the entire area.
I don't know how Korn managed to bypass both the Cypher cam in that spot. It's a super aggressive camera. But, you know, I guess you just maneuver it. Found an impeccable timing. This opening kill coming in. Again, Graham seems like she's, you know, fitting in perfectly with the team. Finding those opening kills. But Kohaibi here, 1v4, almost made it possible. Just, you know, thanks to a little gap in the smoke, Saramura was able to find that kill. But still, that's a pistol. That's Isu's on the board. And now they have that second round to work with.
This time around, Sisu that makes it up on top with those pistols. For one, potentially just snowball till the end here for Sisu. But there's still many rounds to go. As Polly moves straight toward the backside. Polly's story about why she returned and wanted to play, wanting to be able to take the trophy in Thailand itself. Teammate over there, ex-teammate Baby TZ, Kohaibi on the top side. Finds Graham's. BOBA still in their control. Ayumi. Want to see her pop off. She's one of the best duelists so far, but Polly doing it, working it, work. Con and Piety for one each. Backside cleared already. One more time in the smoke. Sawamura, very confident from this team, an 8-6. Let's see whether or not they can convert that bonus.
Yeah, I think from this point onwards, we need to see how Boba's composition really capitalizes on Astra or the double controllers that they have, right? They have a lot of smokes that they can use across the map. This round got a little bit scrappy. I mean, credit to Boba, they are extremely sharp players, so just taking down 2 players in that scenario. But yeah, no ultimates on the board just yet. Kohaibi's one off the Cosmic Divide, so if she gets the orb, she gets the plant, that could be quite useful. But this is where Boba needs to strike back.
This time around, a little bit more aggressive. Graham's moved backwards. Fortunately, her teammates will be stunned. Sawamura gonna find that Zelbiski here. Ayumi and Baby TZ digging a little bit more aggression onto Hall's side. Running for her life here. Polly moving back. Tiles will be where she's been playing. Gonna play so closely with Piety. Caging one area, but Kohaibi is here at the very least to trade if she wants to. Also one, Kohaibi.
Down mid.
An idea that Piety is close. Mars a double swing. Timing not on your side. Baby TZ gonna close it down. Enough to bring in 3 rifles to the next round here. BOBA, only a 1 round deficit behind Sisu.
Yeah, and similar to what happened in the first half. Again, this is a fight towards A main. Great util coming in from the breach as well as the swing from Ayumi, I think. So yeah, really nicely done to get control over that. Prevent them from even setting up to go for any sort of executes. And playing a little bit disruptive. I like that coming from BOBA.
2 ults to play with. Cosmic Divide and Showstopper potentially can be used here if they want to go a little bit more aggressive. Perhaps cut the site in half. TZ not finding anyone yet, but very, very slow starts from both teams here. A lot of respect given.
And this one-way smoke is really nice that they can consistently do because you have the double controllers, right? You can essentially let Delbisky always just put her smoke towards that A main position. That one-way allows for a very favorable fight for the defense. And now they're getting a little bit aggressive. Ooh, BOBA pushing down A main a little bit. They've got deep B main control as well. So both extremities of the map in BOBA's control. They can give up mid a little bit. They have the tripwires there. Oh, this fight might be big right here.
Yeah, you said that right. Ayumi for 2. Showstopper, Piety just crashes Delbisky, but not before Ayumi crashes back in return. Polly finds her in the end. Both these teams feel like 2 elephants having a war. Unstoppable, immovable forces. But it's BOBA with the man advantage here. Easy. Timing so good with her teammates. Equalizing 8-8, and BOBA finally, perhaps, seeing their groove.
Yeah, it's uncommon for an attacker to go into a site without having control over one of the mains, right? So when BOBA take control over A and B main at the same time, they just play contact, they push out a little bit, find that frag, catches SISU off guard, he pops the showstopper, deals a boatload of damage, and while all of that commotion's happening, you see the double push coming in from Baby TZ as well as High B from that B side. Crunches them before they even aware down mid. Here is a fast-paced round coming in though.
Ayumi this time very aggressive. Graham's not able to capitalize quite yet. 43 HP, has to move out of the way, runs away from that Thresh. A lot of utility used already just for Hall's control here. Ayumi playing an off angle. She sprays 1, 2, 3. Pushing over Faye. He's on the way. High B is here. The barely spawn all alone. Has walked straight into the crosshair of Ayumi. She's back and she is going hot right now.
Oh, the one tap for the last kill as well. Ooh, she's feeling it. Look at this. Just protecting Aluka. Aluka was stunned up by the Thresh, so she just needed to stand her ground. And she gets every single kill.
Very, very well played. Both these teams like to start off slow, but once they both explode, they really do. Very, very controlled aggression coming from both these teams. Honestly, a treat to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Camera taken out.
It's such an interesting dynamic, right? These two teams, BOBA having that favorites, that tag on them, but SISU now trying to prove otherwise. B split on the cards. Con's the only player towards B main. So it's Con versus BBTZ. Big
Sharp
fight
as
here.
ever.
Con wins it out. That's the Cypher trips out of the route instantly. But in the meantime, BOBA's pushing down on A main as well.
We find one Piety here, just taps and dabs.
Hiding.
Individual brilliance all around here
Wow.
for SISU. Skirmishes happening in so many parts of the map. But it's Kohaibi that's left all alone. They know where she is. Noted already. The Neural Theft shows exactly where she is. Needs to find her way onto mid-side here. Does she know someone's playing close? She doesn't. Flawless for SISU. Just when you think BOBA would take the lead, SISU just stomps on the ground and says, no, you're not. Pulls back.
Incredible. Everyone went on their individual fights, and Con winning out that one was huge. It forced the A players to push and be a little bit aggressive. Piety catching both there was incredible. And then the last two were just a formality. They know exactly where they were thanks to the Neural Theft. Yeah, SISU playing it slow and patient, and it forced BOBA to be a little bit aggressive, make small little mistakes, and SISU capitalized.
Both these teams have been...
In the hands of Ayumi.
Mid-side.
Down towards.
Sorry, Colton.
Sorry.
I cannot
Down
see you,
towards this.
Colton. Let's be real here.
This is a big fight though. They don't expect this off, surely.
Yeah, surely. Coming up forward here, Ayumi. Not gonna be noted by the Roomba quite yet. Eyes onto tiles, but he flushed out here. Moves out of the way. Buy some space with those pain shells at the very least. Let's smoke out the area. Graham's playing very close to the top side. Inside of the smokes.
Fight here.
Yeah, they do know. But both teams are very, very careful not to overaggress. Con with that opening huge. Kohaibi tries to answer. Showstopper popped. Kohaibi and Baby TZ won. He tries Graham's that finds Baby TZ in the end with that showstopper. But still, despite the explosive fight over at mid-side, still 3-on-3. And now Kohaibi to deny a little bit of information. Has to move out of the way. The aftershock gets her. Pops her head. And she moves straight into BOBA. Her teammates already on the site itself. And the other two members of BOBA, Delbisky and Aluka, taking a very, very long rotation. They pinged it, trying to make sure if anyone were to be crossing, but no one is there. A blind to clear BOBA first, finds no one. Can start to see the paranoia, the overthinking come through. Every single corner checked. But the members of SISU has been playing on to B main itself. Elbisky to play for those smokes here. Aluka once again. One corner not checked has been the biggest problem for BOBA. 1v3 Delbisky. Might be hard to deal with. She pops one. She tries to go for more. Can't. The crossfires of SISU a bit much to deal with. And Sunset BOBA's playground Looking very shaky right now.
Okay, so first issue was that the spike was so overly committed towards the top of it, and there was only 2 players there. It was a very rough situation, and then I don't know how Kohaibi dies to the aftershock. She was more than aware of it. I'm not sure if she thought that she was out of range or was she looking at the minimap, but her dying in that situation was horrible because they were able to get the spike, rotate all the way towards that B side, and now BOBA, money's not looking too great. They lose this round, they're gonna be down on an eco. So SISU, if they win this, it might be almost 12 confirmed on the board.
And once again, pressure coming through from SISU onto mid-side. And BOBA, they're stretched so far out. No clue where they're going to be coming from. Lurks all around. They don't need strength in numbers, SISU. And it's been such a problem for BOBA to deal with. Not being able to catch them in these lurk situations.
Yeah, there are a lot of ultimates that they could use with, right? Delbisky with the not dead yet could be very aggressive. Perhaps Showstopper and Ayumi. And Cosmic Divide for a retake scenario, perhaps again, but this time a lot of players up towards mid. They capitalize off it. Fast push from Graham's. Nice opening onto Luca. But how did the players on BOBA respond? They're pushing A main.
They're still waiting. Trying to buy time. Delbisky not dead yet, she says. Zayumi completely obliterates Piety. A lot of pressure coming in just to avoid not dead yet here. SISU playing a little bit more of a passive side, noting where Baby TZ might be. Not before Kon will take out Delbisky for the second time. Ayumi, showstopper in hand, nearly goes down. 5 HP left. Finds Kon. Does she know that Sawamura is inside of the area? Rolling Thunder to come through. Polly reacting. Graham's getting a pickoff with that pain shells. Kohaibi once again finds herself all alone. Moves forward, punishes Graham's. Polly, quick to answer. And SISU looks so good right now. The communication, the teamwork, strong on both ends. SISU, what have you done? What is this strength? They look amazing right now.
I think this was the strat that they wanted to do in the previous round, where the Gecko and the Raze were in top mid, but this time it was executed to perfection. You saw the fault line come in, the flash as well. A Luca caught off guard with the util in hand. A fantastic opening kill. And despite them getting the kill towards the flank, there was just 2 little players on that A side to assist.
Cover going out.
Shots were shot pretty accurately by SISU as well to stifle the last 2 remaining players. And again, BOBA, I mean, question marks, backs up against the wall. They try to pick up the ultimate orb, but Graham's is there to punish them yet again. It's Graham's always the one to open up these rounds. Ayumi scrambling for the fences. 2 players here in the crossfire setup. Luca only good for 1 though, and this might be the penultimate round. 12 looming on the board. BOBA have to scramble and pull back something. Quietly and Baby TZ, the veterans, what can they pull off?
Spike planted.
All alone here, she's quick to pull that trigger. Baby TZ goes down, but Polly says no more than that. SISU, the momentum is strong in their favor here. Chaining round upon round, 4 in a row, in fact, and BOBA. Questions from us just now on what they can bring on the defense side. This comp, something they haven't played quite yet, wanting to bring something fresh to the table. Not able to capitalize.
One enemy remaining.
Dash, look at the money. Okay, they have a bit, right? Because they saved in the previous half. I mean, sorry, in the previous round, and a must-needed timeout right here. Ultimates are still not in their favor though. You can see the Thrash, you can see the Showstopper available on SISU side, and if it's anyone to open up a round, it's Graham's, right? She has been the one, the jackknife in the round. I like to say it for SISU this time. BOBA have to change up something. I mean, whatever they're doing right now has not been working. They've taken A main control, but SISU more than comfortable. Yeah, you can have A main for free. We can split top mid. We can go through market. We can lurk and pivot towards B side as well. I mean, BOBA's has to come up with something creative here. I'm not sure what, but SISU have been playing these late rounds to perfection. These reads and executes have been sublime so far.
Good holds from them. Great crossfires, good comms. Always a trade. And even in situations where BOBA is double swinging together, Here comes the raw aim that we see, especially from Paiti, from Kon, from Sawamura. When your fundamentals are this strong, what can you do to answer? And this time around, Sisu finds his way onto a B site. This is Baby TZ's playground. Haven't even been able to go onto site itself. You hear the thresh come out as well, just to really see if anything is there. Comes out 4 grams to come through. He throws it straight onto Baby TZ. She survives, but it's Gohaibi that finds Grams in the end. Toward mid side here, Baby TZ is low, 2 HP left. You can see the neural theft come forward, noting the presence of Paiti onto tiles. Moves back so low. Aluka this time with the aftershock finds one themselves. Boba looking very aggressive, eager to put the brakes onto this momentum set through by Sisu. 5 on 2.
Incredible.
Polly and Kon very able to go for these multi-frags. Full control of mid side as Baby TZ. 2 HP left.
My camera is
Notes
destroyed.
the other 2 members onto B main. And here comes the quick rotations forward. Polly wants to see if she can force this plant. Wingman to clear, excuse me. As Delbilski from one side, the flashes come through. Delbilski for 1, Kon for 2. Trades on trades. 2 HP for Baby TZ and Kon with the spike. Through
They're
the
both
shadows.
one shot.
She goes. Straight to A side, goes for the plant. And the run out forward from Boba, hoping to stop this win, this round, hoping to prolong another round. This is their map pick, but Sisu is the one who's on top. All eyes onto Ali. They don't know, they have no notes. Choosing to play together, Boba. Don't know if they know that she's all the way back in the backside. Gohaibi is quite low and so is Baby TZ. Kon, a sneeze, a spray transfer is all they need. They hear the sound as Baby TZ goes down here. Gohaibi is low. Shadow step. Let's move out of the way. 8 bullets in hand and Kon! What a way to end the round. Sunset no longer Boba's playground. Quite a dominance coming through from Sisu. And now the question is whether or not Boba can bring it back. What a game!
Was that a 1v4? Was that a 1v4? 1v4 ace?
I think so too. What a play!
Oh my god, Kon just did them so dirty. I mean, that opening hand, the damage was done onto Baby TZ thanks to the showstopper. A little bit of damage done onto Gohaibi as well, and then the entire execute was stopped. They were shut down completely, and then Kon just pulled out a 1v4 ace out of nowhere to win the map. And you can't make this stuff up. This script is crazy.
Indeed. Those are just individual brilliance. They have managed to stretch Boba far across the map. This allowed them from playing to their strengths, which is their traits, their firepower, their frag potential, and forcing them into these 1v1s. Great isolation coming in from Sisu. And despite the fact that this team, most of them yesterday were not able to play, they didn't bring their A game today. But let's see what Jen and Quack have to say.
Thank you guys, and with that super play coming from Kon, and with that last round on Sunset, Sisu take web 1, you know, having a really good read on Boba as well, and it did not show in the numbers, but Sawamura on that breeze definitely a pain in the butt for Boba too. Is that what you wanted to mention? Yeah.
I so did. You were so on the same page, Jen. I mean, this is just such a crazy map. I'm rambling right now, but yeah, like the way that whole thing kind of plays out, it feels kind of like a little bit seesaw back and forth. Like Boba still had their moments when Yumi gets activated. She tries to, you know, really pop off with the showstopper and her shots, really holding things down for her team in one of these rounds. I think it was round 17. Granted, it was an anti-eco, but still, it shows you that Boba are really fighting. Every single player is trying to frag out, but when it comes down to it, you can really see that Sisu had more coordination. They had more prep done specifically on this map. Maybe because they knew that this was what Boba was going to pick against them. I mean, first of all, like you mentioned, Sawamura. Yes, the numbers don't really show. She had like 16 plus assists. And that's a huge number for a Breach player to have, like, for real. And then also Polly on the attacking half, like giving them so many, you know, wingman plants and everything. It's stuff like that that really gives them a big boost to their whole team dynamic. But then when you think about the rest of the team, of course, the MVP, Piety, just was able to do so much, having the patience to hold market, getting those reads against BOBA, and also having these rounds where, all right, we see that Alka is going to throw out the Rolling Thunder. Let's play off-site. The whole team is performing with such cohesion, and that's why you see them pull strings of rounds together, right? Like 18 to 22 to, well, 23. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jen.
Honestly, yeah, as you mentioned, the cohesion and also the breach stun alone, I feel like that's what kind of shut BOBA down when they were going for that initial push or aggression from BOBA's side. And let's talk about the heat map. 88 kills. That was a bloody map for sure.
Yeah, so many kills. Bloodshed on both sides for sure. You can see a lot of it definitely on the sites, of course. Market, I think, is one big one, especially around A main as well. But the one that I really want to focus on is actually top mid, because those are far and few between, but you see it happening because of some players sneaking through or certain setups when you have like Heidi pushing up there with Khan and Khan being able to sneak up in that second pistol round. So that's always freaking amazing. And when it comes down to it, it really just is, I think, SISU having that much teamwork, Khan being able to support them, Sawamura supporting them for sure, Graham's being the jackknife as Colin calls it, but also Piety holding things down for them again. Like, she's done it before a few days ago, and she's doing it again today. That's awesome.
The consistency, right?
Yeah.
This, though, like, I actually felt like BOBA were going to have the momentum, you know, Ayumi getting the kill, even though she had, like, Dizzy right up in her face. But it was a thrifty right over here where, you know, SISU started figuring things out, and, you know, it's just tight game, but it just quite wasn't enough for BOBA to take the map. Of course, you mentioned Kohibi having a lot of responsibility for BOBA to be able to take this win, but she did everything she could, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah. You can really see it, especially like that pistol round too. A lot of, like, you expect the BOBA players to be to perform really well.
Yeah, to
I'll
frag out.
just say that. You can really see that they have what it takes. Kohide being able to flick back and forth, Ayumi able to strafe and dodge all those bullets, all those sheriff shots, and then being able to spray down her opponents. Those moments tell you that every single BOBA player is that good. But right now, for whatever reason on this map, we don't feel that cohesion. There aren't that many like set plays coming through. We don't really see like Kohibi setting up for a team with her utility. Alka not really doing that with her own. I mean, she's playing a breach as well, but we're not seeing that same match, unlike Sawamura. So they're all that good, but something seems a bit off. So maybe taking a time after this map to reset and really retool, you know, how they're going to play together, especially when it comes to the next map, because that's a map where it looks like SISU's like been practicing and they've been doing really well, really consistent. Exactly. So I'm actually afraid now. My prediction's gonna go down the train again. No.
Well, we're gonna toss off to a break, give Quack some time to moan over his predictions, but we'll be back within a few minutes. So see you guys as we get ready to head into Icebox. Sunset is in the back for SISU. Impeccable cohesion and teamwork coming from SISU as well. Now, when it comes to BOBA, we talked about whether it's a comfortability issue with their double controller comp, or is their teamwork a little bit off? Maybe it could be a little bit of everything, but they definitely had time to talk over what went wrong on Sunset. But in the end, it's SISU taking away Sunset.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that is what happened. We cannot go back and rewrite those pages. SISU definitely showed up here today to play. They know that they have a chance at qualifying to Game Changer Pacific if they win this match, and they really, really want to get it. BOBA, on the other hand, definitely won it as well, but they can't rest on their laurels. They can't rest on the fact they've done so well before. They need to show up on this Icebox map in order to challenge SISU right now.
Especially when 13-9, it looks like the scoreline was a little bit close, but when you look at the rounds, round by round, it was SISU that had the dominance or the upper hand when it comes to the strats that they were pulling and how cohesive that they can be and carrying that momentum forward to Icebox, which is SISU's pick. I feel like SISU have a great chance, a really, really good chance of closing the series out 2-0. So for BOBA, the pressure's on them.
I gotta agree. It really feels that way, and it really looks that way as well, Jen. I mean, BOBA actually are fighting tooth and nail just to scrape away some of these rounds. Like, that's why you see Kohaibi doing her best to do like a 4K, just because Khan was able to slip through Baby TZ's trips and everything. Like, it's just kind of unexpected, but it's credit to how SISU have been able to identify some of these setups and to play alongside them. So if the same thing happens on Icebox, then it's definitely going to be like SISU walking away with a victory. And for BOBA, we don't want that to happen. BOBA needs to really find a way to play against however SISU plays on Icebox. They have a bit of game tape to study off that because SISU did play this a couple of days ago.
And for BOBA, this is kind of a strange situation for them to be in because, the only team that they've been challenged to or that they've gone through this map loss against was Zipto, and now having to face SISU, who's kind of challenging them now with their map win on Sunset. It's got to be something new for BOBA. How do you deal with that?
I don't know how to answer that question, Jen. It's a tough question to answer because it's one of those things where you've done so well for so long and you really believe yourself to be like that good, right? We always talk about how strong Kohaibi is, how strong she is with a Yumi who's able to frag out like we just saw, especially with her teammates as well, Baby TZ, Alika, the whole lot of them. But now facing a loss, especially when it's such a high stakes match, like a qualifying match to Game Changers Pacific, you have to just write over that loss. You have to write it off. You have to reset yourself mentally and just go into this map with the best shot that you've got. And I do wonder whether or not they have that prep work done because it feels as though SISU has it a little bit more. SISU are playing new agents, new compositions. They show that they have the strats. Meanwhile, for Zipto Esports, I don't know if I should say this, Jen. The last time that they played Icebox was against Zipto in the grand finals of stage 1.
It's been a long, long time, right?
It's been a long time, and they lost 13-4, Jen.
Okay, that face. Wipe it off.
13-4. I'm sorry.
But
okay, I'll wipe it
Zipto.
off.
So it's different.
Yeah. It is Zipto.
But again, definitely having that confidence back and having that mentality reset during the break time will be needed for BOBA. Maybe they have something new cooked up on Icebox. We have to wait and see. But for SISU, definitely a strong momentum for them to carrying forward to Icebox. I genuinely cannot really predict what's going to go down until we see that agent select so we can talk about it more. But I don't know, like for BOBA, do you feel like they're frustrated? I just have no idea how they're feeling after Sunset. I don't think they saw that coming.
Yeah, I don't think they did either. It was really just a knockout punch that like came out of their blind side. But you cannot let yourself get too emotional, right? Especially for a match like this. It's the qualifying match. Yes, it's a double elimination bracket.
And they only need to have one more win, right?
Yeah, but they only need just one more win. One win from this match, and they qualify straight away. and they, stand a chance to take down Zipto, which is ultimately their grand goal, I think. So they need to first take down SISU, and they cannot let themselves get distracted away from that right now. I don't know how they feel, but I can tell you, I feel pretty scared. I feel the chills, not just because it's Icebox, haha, the puns, but like, I don't know. Are they truly prepared? Do they have like a new composition? Or have they studied how SISU plays on Icebox?
It is a little bit of bitter feeling for BOBA, whether they win the series or not, especially because whoever wins this one goes off to face Zipto, and a clean 2-0 before facing such a dominant team that hasn't lost to anybody in SEA, that would be something that's going to be very important for them. And for BOBA, the dropping Sunset, I think, will affect them mentally moving forward. Maybe it can help them kind of pinpoint where they're at and what's lacking to make sure that they come back stronger. But I don't know. I guess it all depends on Icebox. See if they can turn it around.
Yeah.
But
I
still
guess
rooting for SISU to get that 2-0.
Okay, you're still rooting for SISU. I'm kind of rooting for BOBA. But I really hear what you're saying, because it really is one of those moments where it can be, a make or break it kind of thing, where either you let that loss kind of affect you and you just can't really get over the fact that, like, oh, this was my map, but then I still lost it. Or you let it, reforge you into a whole new form. You identify those weaknesses. How did I lose this? And then you really come back to retool everything. And right now, I feel like there's something that they can do specifically for this Icebox, because they need more coordination. They need to be able to set themselves up to play with each other a little bit more. Whether or not it's like having the utility to set each other up, or also to just kind of control the map a little bit better. I mean, we can see that a lot of times on Sunset where they're kind of leaving some spots open, relying on utility to do that. And that's when you have moments where Khan was able to sneak through it. Icebox is a map where things like that can happen too, because you've got middle, you've got tube, you've got the top of boiler. If you leave things like that open and you just leave it up to like a Killjoy utility, someone sneaks past an alarm bot, or they create a bit of presence and pressure off of that, and you might start to like have all those moments where you second guess yourself, and that makes it that much more difficult to control the map. So I don't know. BOBA really has their work cut out for them. I never thought that I'd have to say that in a desk segment for their match.
The thing is, you said Sunset and Icebox are kind of similar, but for me, like, not being an analyst and being a very low elo ranked player, I would say that BOBA, I think Icebox would be a better map for them to head into for map 2 after what happened on Sunset, compared to, whether it be Lotus or Haven, I would say, because Icebox is a little bit smaller. So, there's so much that they can do, and less rotation coming up, and less of space for them to take map control of. But that's just me in silver, so scratch that out.
I agree, though. That's true. That's kind of true. Okay. What is this?
We have the agent
it's the
select.
same composition.
It is. Do you think this is a good news for BOBA or
I
not?
Can't say for sure. I was kind of expecting SISU to run their ISO composition. Reina ISO was something that they played in their qualifying matches for this playoffs. So changing things up to something that's more meta, which is the double initiator with the gecko to get the plant. But the slight difference is that SISU has the KO. BOBA's going in with Aloka, so you're definitely needing to play off of that information. Make sure that you're able to use that owl drone, the hunter screw, in order to control the sites, in order to play that defense. Because if they don't do it well enough, then you're gonna see SISU being able to walk all over them if Graham's is able to set Sawamura up that well. And that's something that they seem to be very good at. They're performing so well today, especially on that Sunset, the Raze, the Breach. This time it's gonna be the KO and the Jet together.
And you see that communication is on point for SISU. On paper though, I feel like that double initiator, double flash comp looks a little bit better from SISU's side, but it's time to get Icebox started and see where BOBA can turn things around on this map, or SISU close this out 2-0 and go on to face Zipto. Now I'm gonna toss it over to our casters, so over to you guys.
Bah. No, I missed you this time. Dang it. I'm just kidding. Welcome back to the panel. To the desk, I mean. Now, for this one, it's going to be very interesting. As we all know, this match is very meaningful for BOBA. It means one step closer to them making it to Pacific. And as for SISU, wanting to be able to show what they can bring to the table. That was quite a bit of dominance also. Again, to bring it into one full circle, the last time they played together, the one who won in that Sunset map was BOBA. And this time around, SISU coming up on top. Now, I believe that a team to have really gone through a loss or make more mistakes will be a team to really kind of like come back on top. We've seen that from SISU. Let's see whether or not that last loss against Zipto will be something that BOBA can use to empower them on this matchup today.
And they're definitely going to need it. They need to mentally reset. I think Quack mentioned it as well. I took a little look at aura differentials, map stats, what SISU were. They're 100% win rate on Icebox. It's aura differential. They played 4 times, won all 4. As this iteration of SISU, they've also won the 2 maps that they play on Icebox. So, hey, I'm not saying anything. I'm just putting out the stats, putting out the numbers.
This time around, Yumi taking a very aggressive stance onto Nest here. Already pinged out the members that are gonna be there. Does she know it's gonna be 2? Oh no, she doesn't. Con quick on that, and so is Delbisky. Both Vipers getting 1 each. Sawamura putting in a little bit more of aggression, but not able to take up that space. Kohaibi, though, playing very silently on to be along, denying any space and area, ready to play off Delbisky if she were to contact through. But Con this time, she has other ideas. Coming in from Kitchen Tube will be her playground. A baby TZ, eyes already on that little tiny gap onto window. Timing on her side, but turret gets taken out. And she gets both of them actually go away with nothing onto mid side.
And a double flank coming through from BOBA as well. They might be able to find Con. They are aware someone was in tube. Yes, they're gonna find her, and now they know it's gonna be an A commit.
Heidi was just so quick on that one. Baby TZ for 2. Ooh. That's a free gun, by the way. As BOBA closes out this pistol. A little bit of a deja vu, bringing it back to Sunset, where they also won their first pistol. Let's see how far this goes.
That's a fantastic pistol to pick up. It was pretty chaotic at the start. There was a nice read from SISU to find that Jet player up in the nest position. But then they adapt mid-round, right? They double pushed towards B. They found the mid-lurk and they confirmed it was going to be A. And then once the wall came out, the Viper's toxic screen, it was so difficult for them to get into the site. And it was a nice cleanup from there on out for BOBA. So great start coming in from them. They pick up that pistol. And yeah, they should be able to convert the second. I think on map of Icebox, second rounds should be relatively clean, especially when you bring in those long-range rifles such as the Marshall being picked up by Yumi.
Question is whether or not they can really capitalize off this anti-eco. SISU has shown us that they can pop heads. Just sheriffs, just classics. Thriving, in fact, in the previous map with their teamwork. Baby TZ aggressive on mid, good for 1. But she's so low. Chucked down to only 25 HP. Going a bit more passive, gonna play off her teammates and off her utilities here. But look at the members of SISU. They press the brakes. Trying to suss out more information. Baby TZ still holding her ground. An unmovable force, excuse me. Back on the Killjoy, back on the Agent, where we saw her thrive back in 2022, 2023, with Kohaibi rushing up forward. Just a ghost in hand. Graves goes down. Polly might be answering. Playing out Wingman with that. Kohaibi breaks it. Con and Polly trying to find that right timing and good cross coming forward. Kohaibi sussing it out, trying to go for the isolate, not able to. There's that one side finds 2. Con and her teammate quick on that double swing forward. Baby TZ does have something to say. All alone on B side here. Leaving Ayumi all on A just in case they decide to pivot back with 30 seconds to go. Time. They need to go for this plant.
30 seconds left.
They do.
Yeah, and there's no wingman available as well, so it's gonna be quite difficult for them to even get onto the site, let alone plant.
Heidi here trying to cut off anyone trying to rotate in from that area. Baby TZ once again showing she can pop hits. 4 in the bag. And they survive with 4 of their guns. Sorry, excuse me, 3 of their guns moving forward into the next one. I can't math on the screen. Seem like Pilsky actually.
Oh, a little dig at Pilsky just before he comes on.
Gotta throw some shots before when he's not able to defend himself. Speaking of defending here. Boba looking very good, especially Baby TZ. Good hold on to mid, good hold on to the area of tube. Terrifying, in fact.
Her confidence is kind of crazy, you know? She's tagged down to 1 HP, she still goes for those frags. Respect though, she gets those shots off. Damage onto Saramura, I think. No, not damage at all. So she still gets away scot-free for the time being.
It's enough pressure doesn't mean that you put in that damage. Baby TZ once again. A different iteration of mid-side. Con gonna be playing inside of Poison Orb. Actually, does she actually want to push out? Playing very close. She sprays, taps Baby TZ. Punishes her for going a little bit too aggressive on her own. Aluka spots out 1. She taps. Goes for 2. Can she get it? Yes, she does.
Spike down
now,
A.
it's all down to Sawamura all alone here. She does have the spike. The other 2 members all the way to spawn, and they're okay to pivot. Piety here notes
Spot coming
where
back.
Deblisky might be. Quick for that swing, quick for that tap. Terrifying even going against someone like Piety. She has been thriving in her previous team, thriving on this one as well. In fact, looking better. Full control off kitchen. You hear the quick plant come out as well. As now, it's all about that post plants. Ayumi, outlaw in hand. Putting Con might be close here. She taps. 18 HP, a good cross, and Con. No need for a teammate when you are that sharp.
Yeah, well, Baby TZ gets 4 kills with Guardian. They're gonna do it right back to him. I mean, Con right there. Going down mid, spots Baby TZ on that jump spot towards the lower portion of Boiler, right? So she's just gonna abuse that information that she knows, peek out of her own smoke into the alarm bot, and she doesn't even care, right? She's gonna get that kill first. Luca here did a lot of heavy lifting, but Con, I mean, 1 HP again, just gets all those kills. Fantastic round coming in from SISU, and albeit a close one, but Boba, now's the chance to strike back. We've got Ayumi on this operator down towards A.
Question is whether or not she can capitalize on that. This time around, still 2 on mid-side. Baby TZ this time playing a little bit more passive, but not Ayumi. Takes out the tip of the spear. Bit hard to get on the site. Kohaibi as well on the other end. Gonna find out Con onto mid-side here. Ayumi, all she does is reposition herself. Baby TZ this time. Piety knows exactly where she is. Good timing is needed, and it does. Raise her with that. Moves out of the way. Flash noted. Ayumi, undeterred at all from her space. Luca as well is still here. They note the sounds of the mid area. That turret giving a lot of value of information. Ayumi this time, micro angle. She's quick to answer.
Here.
The members of SISU, one by one, falling like dominoes. Looking worse and worse as time goes down. Aluka, timing on her side, will be punished. Piety,
30 seconds.
whether or not
left.
she's able to really equalize this is the question. Notes the positioning of Ayumi. She's all alone. Only an up in hand. She
Spike
makes it
down
work.
A.
Spots that spike, and she gets 4K to her name. What movement and what play! The repositions with that up is terrifying, and she is the gatekeeper of A site.
And this is 3 rounds in a row where one player gets 4 kills in every single round. So the individual brilliances from both of these teams kind of showing. I think Icebox is a perfect battleground for that. A lot of very interesting fights that could be taken in place, different elevations, but every single player on this server I think can hit incredible shots. So we might be in for a crazy map if things continue how it has been. But SISU now down on this low buy. Con has the Viper Spit, so if they get that spike planter, it might just give them a little bit of advantage. But Ayumi again, super aggressive on this operator, and she wants to hunt for even more frags.
Ayumi this time is doing the same thing again. 3, 4 there. Ayumi was just quick to just dash away. Could have ended very catastrophically if she was able to get caught there. Once again, she goes aggressive. But Sawamura is still sharp, but BOBA, they answer back, showing them that they are not going to be thrifty this time. The move of Ayumi, insane. Only a classic in hand, swapping it out with her op. Good work from BOBA. Doing great on this defense side.
Yeah, BOBA is so confident fighting for this front part of A towards the pipes. And you got the Gecko with the Dizzy, which is really, really strong to allow Ayumi to peek up and over different angles. And essentially gives her a small window to take a shot and then dash away. And these small little micro pieces of aggression across the map will allow BOBA to find information. And secondly, of course, getting picked. And that's exactly what you want to do up against SISU's composition with that KO in hand. But Sawamura, now this time, she's going to pick up an op as well. So we might have a jet op the op duel somewhere on this A side.
Let's see who comes up on top here. Sawamura up in hand, baby TZ. Taking a more frontal aggression onto tube. Her timing can be right here. Unfortunately, it's gonna be a target that spots her out first. Con. Quick to punish. Polly already on the side itself with Thresh. Clears out the entire of the backside. They know how much space they have to work with. Ayumi moves out of the way. Good for one. Blades popped. Hybe on the other end. Gonna find Con. Heidi's timing, her lurks. Impressive, impeccable. Takes out the op. Kohybe all alone here. On the backside, Delbisky. On the lower side, can play off her if they need to be. For now, they will be somewhat isolated. The timing for SISU have been scarily good the last few rounds. They note the sound of the wingman. Sawamura to pop. Hybe answers, but Sawamura on that off also says that I too can shoot heads. And I am just as terrifying.
What a beautiful change-up by SISU, right? They are aware that the operator was giving them issues, so their solution, play a little bit slower, put pressure on other parts of the map, and then let their own op find all that presence. Yeah, you saw Piety right there, find in all that chaos, was able to sneak through mid, come through kitchen, flank the players on the A side. It's beautiful mid-rounding calls coming through by SISU right here. They really look like a team that's very comfortable on this map. And again, Ayumi picking up this up. Let's see if she can put some damage in the server, this time towards A. But Sawamura's here towards this B site. Delbisky's got to be careful of these jump peaks.
I've seen Sawamura punish jump peaks before, and I'm glad that Delbisky seems to understand. Moves backward, playing off those sound cues. Spike still near spawn. One-way setup onto B long. SISU, they want to be punished for this aggression. SISU has shown us what a momentum-heavy team they are. They want to be able to chain as many rounds as they can.
If you look at the ultimates, right, BOBA has 3 really great ones. You got the lockdown, so Hunter's Tree as well as the Thrash. So any sort of retake setup, plant denial is gonna come in clutch for BOBA this round. And they need it. The money's not looking great. This time, SISU's crept up towards B main already. Advanced position, mid portion of the map. But Piety expects to peek from Baby TZ, takes her down. Delbisky now caught in no man's land, out in the open. Kohybe's gonna find that kill onto Con.
Oh, what a shot! Sawamura is just sharp on that. So is Aluka and Kohybe. Thresh to come through, finds no one. But the Hunter's Fury from Aluka is gonna be the one taking out Polly. Ooh, timing! Bit too dangerous here, and Aluka with the save! That is teamwork, and that is what we wanted to see from BOBA in the previous map. They bring it here to Icebox.
Oh, that's so unfortunate for Sawamura. She pops the knives as she's on 1 HP, gets taken down. And so now that they're on a low buy, she's not gonna have those knives. She doesn't have that, that scary potential that she can pop off with. And credit to BOBA, as I mentioned earlier, they played for the presence towards the B side. Hunter's Fury came out, and despite them losing a couple of kills, they managed to stabilize towards that tail end. So SISU navigating that round was a little bit difficult. BOBA, they stabilized, they played safe, and now a timeout being called for them. SISU wants to put a stop to this. 5-2. It's the score line. BOBA getting away with this half already. Got a couple of ultimates that they could use with, but again, it's gonna be the operator on Ayumi that's gonna be a pain in their side to, try to find out where she is, push her back. It's not gonna be easy, right? Ayumi's gotta be super persistent together with Kohaibi's flashes.
Delbisky not having a good game this time, but her teammates have been really good. But the same could be said about Graham's here.
Oh, yeah.
Not able to capitalize. It's just been such a problem for them. Whenever the utility has been popped, there's always an answer back from BOBA. But the one who has really been great at manipulating those utilities for me has been Piety. And it feels like for Piety, it's all about just understanding. I think because she's a killjoy herself, understanding that will be a swing out whenever the alarm bot rings, and she's just ready for that swing out. She's just been punishing baby TZ time and time again. This time around, Ayumi going for double dips, and she finally gets away with one more. You don't expect that, especially after that dash. That is confidence.
Look at the flank as well. Delbisky's locked them in. She's coming in from that B flank. It's a bit of a fight, I think, towards that spawn position. Delbisky in the open. Piety, Grahams, and gone! Just like that.
Those are sheriffs! What a collapse coming in! Breaks the entirety of A site! Already here! Gets an upgrade, baby TZ. Good to try and get one to their name. Kohaibi as well. Finally, dwindling down to a 2v2. Khan from the top side. Making it rain from the idea from the top. Kohaibi all alone here, playing ring around the Rosie. Gonna go for that top. Gonna go for the spray. And she does win it in the end. Finds Khan. Has to move out in the little corner. She does get away with it. Playing your triple, but that tap from Piety is disgusting. SISU showing us what a thrifty looks like. What a play!
You see that shot towards spawn? Piety just destroyed Delbisky on the flank. I mean, Ayumi was the one to open things up. What a beautiful opening right there. But 3 kills instantly came back, and then down to the 2v1. The killjoy lockdown was just more than enough. Piety had the angle hold.
God, I'm so sorry, Golden. I am completely losing my mind.
Lose it, because I am too.
How do you break a side open with 3 sheriffs at the same time simultaneously? Can only imagine the comms here. 1, 2, 3, swing, pop, flash over A site, and this time around, BOBA, you could tell their minds in tatters, wanting to play a little bit more passive instead of reactive this time.
Blocking sight.
Mitchie, here comes the Del Command. Ayumi tries to do the same. Aluka is there. But Khan will be the one to punish Ayumi for going a little bit more aggressive. Preams for one more. Flooding the entirety of A backside here. They note Raptors. Someone might be there. Close angle. Hit will be dropped. Making it even harder for the members of BOBA to get onto the site. Delbisky still unable to capitalize, and so will baby TZ. Kohaibi dropped as well. And SISU looks like they might be mounting their momentum here. And BOBA, no idea where to go and where to start.
Yeah, exactly as you put it, right? That momentum, that round. I mean, you win with just sheriff shots, and now your confidence must be overflowing. You mentioned Graham's, right? 0 and 7 before that round. Now she's found 3 kills. She's getting that confidence back.
That is the jinx.
I would love to see her, right, on that duelist role, the Reina perhaps just popping off, but now she's a bit more of a supportive element. But if she can find that form, if she can find that bit of consistency, then SISU might be in for a couple more great rounds. But BOBA, they've got that up yet again in Ayumi, and is here towards this B site.
Delbisky, this time around playing very aggressive. They note her, but she will capitalize. Ayumi quick to play out that contact, moves out of the way. Fortunately, will still be tagged by Dizzy. Khan's quite low. Daring to peek. Ayumi also dares to punish. Now we start to see SISU. They move back. Shock darts. Buying a bit more space. The positioning of baby TZ here, if she can find that right timing to catch those lurks, those mid-rotations going to an A site could work out in their favor. But one thing I can give to SISU, especially in the last few rounds, is that they are diligent, checking every corner, every angle. Look at that, Polly. aware. Her timing is right. It'll be huge. There we go. Spots her out. Baby TZ forced to give up that position.
And Polly, one of the Thresh
30
as well.
seconds
So
left.
if Polly can somehow get her wingman to the side and get that plant down, she might have a chance. And for the time being, Boba has completely vacated this A side. Only alarm bot there for any piece of information. So SISU might be able to find a little bit of an opportunity, but how they're gonna navigate the late rounds though, that is the question. Spike gonna go down, Polly with the Thresh available.
Piety, full control of top side. Piety noting the members of Boba coming in from screens, holding very close. A shock dart, and they tap. But look at this time with the white swing. Gonna deny her from being able to do that. Gets that defuse. Boba still the lead, and SISU not able to bring the momentum further than that.
Yeah, I mean, Boba aware that A was going to be the call on the tap of the spike. They just crept out towards the rafters position, right? They just were aware that there was not a lot of players that could be holding. It was essentially only one player that could be assisting, when the spike was being planted for. But again, I think that peak coming in from Con on the B side against the L was a little bit ambitious, as you mentioned. You want to dry peek that up in that corner, in a predictable corner. Not going to be easy. They need the utilities again. And the Yumi, as always, bringing out that operator. It's been that win condition for the side of Boba so far.
Here comes the Thresh, coming up forward. Polly, bring it back. Finds no one onto A site again, but this time around, Boba, they're okay to give up control of A site. Understanding their strength is in numbers, is trying to survive as long as they can, is key here. And onto mid side here, it wasn't Baby TZ. In fact, it was Sawamura. Delbisky this time will be the one to win that first contact play. Con taken down. Don't know if she notes that Piety is there. Oh, yes, she does. Takes her down as well. B side completely in her hole, but A side is just dwindling one by one. Sawamura for two, but not before Boba comes through. Rotated over here. You have the Killjoy ult settled down, and Polly unfortunately does not make it out in time. Hiding on the side, the plant does come through, but she is all alone. Ayumi already going for the defuse. Delbisky playing up forward. Polly is close by. Polly for one, can't go for two. Delbisky is the hero. From 0 to hero, she makes it. Boba goes to a 7.
Oh my god, Polly almost made it work. Found that kill through the smoke. And it was essentially down to a 1 versus 1. But yeah, Boba still eke out yet another round. And look at the ultimate economy. I mean, after the replay, you guys will be able to see this. But Delbisky, I think credit to her. She single-handedly handled with 2 of those lurks, right? So incredible work by thinning the numbers of the side of SISU. And when they committed towards that A side, yeah, there's just lack of numbers. The ultimates in play. The lockdown was really nice by Baby TZ. But yeah, look at the ultimates all available for Boba in this final round.
This time around, they want to punish the area of mid. Baby TZ forced to give up that space. Still on top here. Go Hybe, not able to capitalize. Sawamura, her jump down peaks, catches everyone off guard, but Delbisky does the same. Here comes the pit, just denying that B side area, but Delbisky! Caught! Pit goes down, Ayumi rushes out forward to play with her teammate. Hunter's Fury. Gonna be used by Aluka. Gets no tag here as Piety all alone. Footsteps noted, Piety going for that hold. She's been great on these taps, but no one showing their cards here. Luca playing a very, very aggressive angle. Not sure if anyone were to cross out will be punished, but Baby TZ noted. And Piety says, okay, I think we should rotate to A site.
Is the ultimate orb available on A? That's the question, right? If Grahams can pass the spike to Piety, Piety gets the orb and the plant, they will have the lockdown available. But it all depends if there's an ultimate orb here. Yes, it is. That is an option, but they want to keep it quiet though. They want to just creep up onto the site. They don't want to announce their position just yet. Piety has the alarm bot as well. The Nano Swarms available. Grahams with a boatload of util as well. Want to be aggressive though. Flash. What screens just to clear out the close range angles. Alarm bot goes down, and so will the spike post plant now coming in.
Oh, Paiti, this time around it's Baby TZ to come up on top. Ayumi already in the backside. The sprays come through, death from above, but Baby TZ ends it out with 3. Good morning, Baby TZ. The multi-frags going huge.
Yeah, beautifully done at the halves. 8 rounds. It seemed like SISU had a good read, but BOBA towards the tail end really found their groove. They found the momentum, and they remembered who they were.
Sides.
Oh, it's over to us now. BOBA taking the lead 8-4. Definitely BOBA looked way more comfortable on Icebox compared to Sunset. A little bit of chaos going on this map as well. So why don't you talk us through what happened in the first half, Quack?
Oh, it was chaotic to say the least. I was screaming throughout this entire first half. Several moments from the players. I'll just leave it at that. A lot of it came down to Ayumi and the operator. I think that was the biggest deal for BOBA, especially in this first half. That's why they remembered who they were. That's why they were playing so aggressive, having some of these high-low setups with like Delbisky sometimes, but mostly Ayumi being up on top in elevated angles, up around pipes, up around yellow. She's able to snipe down players from SISU as they approach her, and even tailwinds away and then repeats for a couple more. Because of that, SISU repeatedly had to face BOBA with like a 4v5, a 3v5. There were some rounds where Sawamura or some of them had an inkling, a call to really sneak through like, areas like Tube or something, but it wasn't quite enough because again, they were always playing through these rounds with like weaker numbers, and even with some efforts from their teammates, it just wasn't quite there to bring it over. And I also want to credit Aluka for being so good at staying behind the back lines, like tossing those Hunter trees. She gets one player at the very least, and even the counter recon just to throw them off timing. Stuff like that really brings BOBA back to top 4.
Right, so let's see if BOBA can keep this up and take Icebox Force map 3 on SISU. So over to you, Tash, because I missed you.
Will I ever get tired of Jen saying I miss you to me? That will, that will remain to be the question we have. Anyways, down to the second half here. BOBA with quite a significant lead. But this time around, SISU, Sawamura very aggressive, taking up that space forward, punishing Aluka, and they move back.
Another opening round. First pick again goes in the hands of the defenders, but this time it's Isu's advantage. Down towards mid, Delbisky makes a presence known. That's a nice pick off, and now they can capitalize and enter this B site.
The utility thrown up forward, caught and forced to move out of the way. Go high, be quick to walk up and just completely take out Khan. Playing very passive here, SISU.
Planted.
Can't do more than that. SISU play passive this time around. BOBA could have taken that space and deny them from being able to get out of the site. Delbisky, despite the slow start, this round gets 3 already to her name. Sawamura all alone. Delbisky's presence noted, punished. The high-low 3-way hold for Sawamura. Finds her in the end. BOBA, both pistols, at least for Icebox 2, their name, bring it to a 9-4.
Yeah, there was a nice opening by SISU, right? To catch the player of Aluka, but then it was Delbisky down towards mid, being an absolute nuisance. While the rest of her teammates were swarming the B side, she was still here, just absolutely just knocking them out in kitchen. And yeah, they just weren't able to find any chance to take her out. Beautifully done to isolate those 1v1s. Yeah, that gets BOBA that 9th round.
A different mindset shift for BOBA this time around. A little bit more aggressive. We saw a lot of hesitation coming in from Sunset earlier. Don't know what happened in between these two maps, but they seem to have woken up. Aluka taking a more aggressive angle, playing off Ayumi here. Contact play is what they want to capitalize on, and they've had so much value playing off that previously. Delbisky this time, up tube, trying to see if anyone going through kitchen will be what she punished. Perhaps to give Paiti a taste of her own medicine. Priams, 0 point, finds No, times 3. In fact, a flash to come through. They swing out here. Anti-flash already. Probably good for one. Piety as well. But it's gonna be Boba to come up on top of that particular skirmish. Aluka is just so low right now. Plant will happen at the very least. As for Sawamura, with only a classic in hand, we've seen big value from that gun. Baby TZ was able to do it. So was her teammate, excuse me. But for Khan, bigger gun in that. Sheriff, we've seen frags upon frags. Sawamura is here. Aluka notes the position onto Maze, but it's gonna be Khan who just capitalizes off that. Delbisky for 2. And these 2 rounds, Delbisky have just been hard pressed and just showing us that she is still very much in this game.
Yeah, Delbisky, the newest addition to this Boba squad, but she's already like shown so much impact in these 2 maps that they've been playing. And yeah, her lurks have been really solid so far. Looks like she's more than comfortable in taking that space away. And while this round got a little bit dicey, still get away with it at the very end. Just don't get yourself 15. That is the main goal. But yeah, so double digits now for Boba, 10-4 lead. Incredible streak of rounds.
This time more aggressive. Sawamura does what she does best, popping hits.
There's my buddy.
Aluka will be the victim of that. It's Polly come forward. Changing her mind about using her utility moves out of the way. Timing on her side, but it's gonna be her that demolishes Baby TZ. Unfortunately, she whiffs. Now Boba left in a situation where they are the ones left questioning. Delbisky this time gonna be found over under tube. Khan, good hold on to that side. Sawamura is quite low here, but despite the lack of HP, she's able to show us taps upon taps. Multi-frags instead. Sawamura here. There we go. Expected. Very sharp as we've seen before. And SISU gonna be getting this anti-bonus. Brings them to a 5.
We got this.
Yeah, nice and clean from them. Alright, they only lose Con in that all that skirmish. But yeah, just not too complex of a round right here. SISU just gearing up for an aggressive behold. Baby TZ almost had that kill in that situation, but great reactions coming in from Polly, our ex-teammate. But yeah, this is the gun rounds that's all important. Well, these teams looking to put that on the board. Of course, SISU got to string a couple more rounds together, 10-5. Tough one to answer back. Sawamura goes up and above. Nice advanced positioning to start the round off.
She's gotten value for that particular angle. Luca this time had noted it. See these readjustments come through. They might be tiny, but it is enough. Changes all around, Baby TZ. Quick to play off her teammates here. Polly. Noted by that Aldrin moves over to the backside, rendezvousing with her teammate Layumi. A little bit more controlled aggression this time. A lot of respect coming in from Boba, understanding that they cannot underestimate this team. Marsh to just clearly clear out the right side, but for Khan, finding the counter heart Viper onto A site. Thresh to come through as well. Tried to break it. Baby TZ gets caught. No follow-up this time. Polly noting the members of Boba all the way onto A site. Unfortunately, Papali presence has been known onto the area. The question is whether or not they're going to be able to pick her off. Little bro coming for that plant, or Aziz rather, as the popularized name known as SISU. As I said, that 3 gone down already. Kohaibi all alone tries to isolate this fight, can't. SISU, they bring it back.
I mean, that was an incredible kill from Con to catch Delbisky lurking up onto the B side, because either pinging on the map as well. Delbisky was so far into Snowman, and when this kill happened, right, the rest of her team, SISU, all hunkered down here towards this A side. Put up the Viper's toxic screen, Wingman came in, Aziz couldn't get that spike planted, not much assistance for him there, and that allowed SISU to put up that 6 on the board. So 2 runs in a row, that breaks the economy of Boba. Now going on, a little bit of eco of theirs. They have a couple of upgraded weapons, so let's see if Kohaibi and Delbisky can put some dent into this SISU defense.
A lot on the line for Boba here. Wanting to be able to close this map for some map 3. They win this one, they go to Pacific. Their whole dream of trying to overthrow the queens of Pacific Zipto is here. Sawamura with that opening huge onto Baby TZ. So does Graham's. mid-side control. Whatever that BOBA wanted will be denied. They make their way onto A side. Ayumi alone here. Only Sheriff in hand. The timing are not great onto Polly. But at least that's gonna be caught here for the answer. And more. Finding Luca there, and now Kohaibi once again. Final member of BOBA left standing. Could potentially go for a save. But she can buy an extra round if she wants to. But what she wants to do is dwindle the numbers. If they can. But it might be hard. Look at this buddy system coming through from SISU. 2 on A. 1 all the way back on spawn. Yeah. With 1 teammate all on B all alone.
They're all playing super far back. They're not gonna give Kohaibi any chance at all to win this. Her will spot her out. So now they know where she's coming from. 10 seconds left. She has no other option but to just resign to her fate. Left. Finds the first. But I don't think she's gonna be able to find too much more. Just opting for the save perhaps. You might want to hunt her down? No, just gonna save the operator.
Oh, that's good denial! She does it once again!
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, 10 HP left. And it's good that they note this. Because they have a lot of understanding that Sawamura and the op can be terrifying, but Sawamura, she has cash for days!
Yeah, they got money. They got cash. Unlucky timing for Polly here, but again, the defense seems very, very strong so far from SISU. And they're very aware of the luck potential on Delbisky, right? They've been catching Delbisky on that luck twice already the last 2 rounds. So Delbisky might need to change up her strategy just a little bit. Be a little bit more unpredictable. Op this time here trailed onto the B side. The smoke misses the dart though, so now they know where Sawamura's posted up, but they still want to go towards his domain.
Look at that! How many utils just used just really just displays her. Ayumi quick this time. She explodes onto the side, playing with the utility, and Sawamura had nowhere to go, hopping for her life. But for now, she takes out kitchen. Before Graham takes her down, Delbisky this time will be the one to go down to Khan onto mid. 0 point. Gotta find 1 at the very least. Graham's all the way onto mid side. Polly here. He can go for this isolated plays. Moves out of the way, breaks that little bro. As Baby TZ tries to find that angle. The flash not giving value to her. Baby TZ goes down. Kohaibi playing ring around the Rosie. Notes 1 out. Dizzy to come through as well. Perfectly played to perfection. BOBA, good teamwork all around. Finally getting around away from SISU after 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah, Sawamura stayed a little bit too long. And she was essentially just bunny hopping all the way to backside, just praying that somehow they don't catch her. But yeah, with the Thresh in tow, that was really nice. And at the very end right there, they had the flash from Kohaibi to flush them out. And Luca just swings off of that. And that's 11th on the board. BOBA inching the way closer to a map number 3.
Cube side, Piety gonna note the positioning of the jet, Ayumi. Khan this time around still showing us why B-Long is her domain to punish Aluka as well. In fact, give it Ayumi! Does she know that Kohaibi had pushed out? I think she does! 4! The ace in her hands! No! Denied by Delbisky! But the damage is done! Here comes Thresh. She breaks it all alone, but Polly to swing out! SISU takes back these rounds! Khan! B-Long is her playground! And she just completely demolishes the entirety of BOBA's roster!
That was disgusting from Khan. She was pincered in. They were coming from mid, they were coming from B main. She chooses to fight B main. She had no other option. She couldn't fall back. They were in on the B side already. Pops her toxic orb. And then just navigates around these containers to perfection. This is sublime anchoring coming in from Khan. And that gets them back up to 8. Money, a question for BOBA. They don't have the best weaponry this time as well. Sawamura back on that op. Here we go again.
Sawamura. Same angle held by Ayumi before, and she serves a taste of her own medicine. Goes for more. Not able to. Relents, moves out of the way, moves back here. Delbisky this time around. It's been a non-stop battle between these two Vipers if our Piety cuts her down. Still, despite the chaos, despite the explosive start, it's still 3-on-3 before Sawamura stops that. Sawamura with that op. She's been sharp. She wants to get more and more. It's like a shark smelling blood in infested waters. Maybe TZ here. Don't have to be all alone on his side, but Sawamura hasn't been moved quite yet. Timing
My ultimate
in her favor. And I'm talking about baby TZ here. She did get suppressed. But she's playing all alone here. Timing goes for Polly. Heidi to end it.
A.
A one-on-one in the end. Go Heidi!
Oh,
Can't do more than that. But Grahams is there to help out if something were to go wrong. This last few rounds has been such a back and forth. But SISU is the one to be able to capitalize and chain rounds and rounds in a row.
SISU have so many faces. They fought for B, they fought for A, they've played passive as well. So BOBA don't really have the best read of what is the setup coming in. This time they contact play up, gets caught by the op. And the shots that SISU are hitting are crazy sharp. I mean, this is the new gen of Game Changers players, right? You have the old guard, but now you have players like Heidi, Grahams, all coming up with incredible skill. This time around, testing the op, smoke comes through. Sawamura tests it, and gets out of there. Smoke comes in, but they still want to push the issue. Around the corner, Sawamura.
Goodness, Sawamura! Aggressive positioning, front forward. Still has a dash as well to move out of the way. She is an opportunistic person and she capitalizes on everything. Grahams gets knocked out. But Heidi is there. Ready to go for a pickup, ready to trade even. But Ayumi plays a little bit more back. A jump shot to come forward. Sawamura's presence has been noted once again. Need to be quick here. But Graham's not able to be saved. Ayumi all alone on one end. This time around, BOBA noting the position. They answer back. And Akon does get traded out once again. A retake with an op can be incredibly hard. But these micro angles by Sawamura, she can make it good. No swan up on the top side, but the crossfire from BOBA.
That's right, you
Little bit of a tall ask. But SISU not able to bring that one back. So match point will be found by BOBA. But if we know SISU, they are a team to bring it back. So BOBA, they have to be the A game. They have to be able to get the right reads here.
There's a little bit of a misstep coming in between Polly as well as Sawamura. Sawamura drops the smoke, falls back, but Polly goes in front of the smoke. So a little bit of misjointedness, small little error right there, but BOBA is gonna capitalize off of that. Despite Sawamura getting 2 kills in that situation, the players were a little bit too fast strung out. Grahams got caught on that retreat as well. Time out being called by SISU. They want to put a stop to this. They want to give BOBA 12, and that is all they want to give them. A chance to answer back here. You got the lockdown, you got the Viper's Pit. But on the other side, BOBA, they themselves have 3 incredible ultimates. You got the Thrash, Lockdown, and Viper's Pit available. A little bit strapped for cash because of the damage they've done the previous, but they should be able to get all but one player rifle in for the BOBA side, I think.
Kohai B. Con, look at that. 21 each. A huge step up by Delbisky, especially in the second half. She started off this map struggling. But she shows us why she does best. On this attack side, her lurks have been phenomenal. Newest member to BOBA. Adapting so quickly. This time around, Aluka. We find no one with that recon, but the Dizzy does though. Gonna be displacing the other members. Con moving up to the top side, moving away from that Thrash. And now she circles back. Ayumi is here. She wasn't aware that Ayumi had taken up so much space. But they do answer back with their own pit. Both players trying to stay alive. Both players trying to find space to go for that plant. Graves is here, playing so close with Sawamura. All alone, needs to find that answer. They do have the lockdown in play as well. Graves to find 1, Delbisky for 2. It's been multi-frags upon multi-frags, and Delbisky showing us that she is definitely awake. Kuhaibi for 1 more, and BOBA stamps down their foot and say, hey, we are winning this map pick. We may not win our map pick, but yours, we have done our homework, and we can bring it back. And BOBA, they force that map 3.
I can't believe it. They push it all the way. They take down Icebox, the map that SISU had a 100% win rate on from stage 1. And now they've taken down what is Sisu's strongest map. They push it to a map number 3. Haven is the next one up on the cards. And this series could not get any more hype. I mean, both of these teams taking each other's map picks. And now we have to go to a third to decide how this one's going to pan out. But enough of us yapping. Let's go back to the panel to see what they thought of that map.
Guess not.
Hello. We're an opportunistic people, so we take whatever time we have on the desk. So recovery coming through for Boba, but we also got to witness resilience coming from SISU as well. Could have gone either way, I believe, but Boba were strong enough to hold the line and get themselves across the finish line.
Yeah, oh, okay, yes. Boba did incredibly well, especially in that first half. I think that was one of the main reasons. I see what you did there, by the way, opportunistic people. But what is happening on this map? I'm so... Okay,
come on, wrap your head around it.
Okay, yeah, because it's so many of these crazy freaking moments where you just see Sisu kind of running around. Sawamura,
on
she's
that op.
amazing on that op, yes, but also sometimes what? She's like peeking in some of the craziest moments, pulling out her knives, b-hopping to kind of dodge the thrash, re-peeking at the craziest, most dangerous corners, dangerous positions to play around. And then sometimes she also gets away with her life. It's so insane. I love it. They look like they're having fun. But when it comes down to it, Boba definitely had the right ideas in mind. Like, even when it comes down to the final round, yes, Khan was doing incredibly well. Like, so many kills, almost matching Kohibi. But she immediately got hard countered by that Thrash. Just putting down the Viper's Pit, Thrash forced her out of it, and then Boba was able to set their ground on the B site, and everything else just went their way. You could see how many of these players from Boba were able to match Sisu in their own fights, in their own individual 1v1s all across this entire map. Whether or not it's Kohibi anchoring down on the defensive half, around the B site on upper, or just even when they're fighting for the sites on their own, you know, putting down the Viper's Pit, Yumi continuing to challenge them, creating so much more presence to push even further. And then it just really makes players like, who was it? I think it was like Heidi just rethinking, like, do I want to put down this lockdown right now? But I kind of have to because it's the last round. And both teams just really fought so far back and forth, both having 11 first kills, Jen. But when it comes down to it, Boba just had more of their post plants locked down, more of their duels won, and that's really the end of the story.
That's what mattered. When it comes to Icebox, such a back and forth rounds, as you mentioned, Quack, but Boba take Icebox this time around. I think like the amount of firepower, that's what we needed to see on Sunset as well. So I guess Boba needed some time to warm up on the first map. And there you go.
Yeah, I guess a little bit. They took a little while to warm up, we could say that. But also just on this map, they actually coordinated a little bit better. I don't know what it is with Sisu. I mean, maybe... I don't know. Sawamura just plays so crazy sometimes.
It was like watching something, you know?
A little bit, but then like not like diving at her opponents with a shorty.
True.
So at the end of the day, yeah, the coordination's a little bit different from Sisu on this map as compared to Sunset, which who would have thought we'd be saying that, because they're performing better on each other's map picks. But what it comes down to is, yes, on the map pick of Icebox, not Boba's map pick, Kohibi does better. Kohibi has the Gecko, and she's, you know, making use of her utility. If who was it? Was it like, I can't remember. I think it was Polly with the Gecko, and she's throwing the wingman. Kohibi instantly throws down the mosh pit just to deny that plant, and also you've got players trying to counter and fight back against Sisu from every single part of Boba. Also, just fun thing to note also is, I kind of forgot to mention this, Delbisky used to be teammates with Sawamura, Khan, and everyone else.
Oh, there's a little bit of a history going on.
Yeah, both sides.
Yeah. Honestly, like in the beginning, I thought this would be like an easy win for Boba though. So SISU, with how they were responding to what Boba were doing, I think it's worth noting as well.
Spike down A.
Yeah, definitely worth noting how just both sides really able to pull out a lot of strong moments out of the bag, especially when they really needed it. But you know, in such a big match, you need a lot more than that. And it really comes down to the next map right now. Whoever's going to make it through that upper finals, especially against Zipto Esports. Wow.
Yep, great map. Glad to see Boba kind of finding their footing once again. Now everything is just going to be even more intense as we move on to Haven. I'm just kind of scared what's going to go down.
Well, I think it's going to be interesting because Haven is a map that, you know, is rejoining the map pool. We haven't seen it in a while. So agent compositions might be switched up, but in the past, this would be a Boba map. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, we'll see after the break. So see you guys after the break. back to the stream, guys. Jen Lee here with Quack. Now, we had some crazy moments on Icebox. We had to take a break to cool down a little bit, but we're back. And now we're here to talk about what happened on Icebox a little bit more and what's going to go down on Haven. I felt like Icebox Boba was just telling us, this is what we can do when we're feeling comfortable.
Yeah, well, here's what's gonna happen. I'm not cooling down. We're not gonna cool down at all. This is gonna get even crazier.
Even, they each took away the opponent's map pick, and the score line's like exactly the same, so.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. It's just, it's mayhem right now, Jen. I don't even know.
Mayhem.
We're gonna go into Haven not being able to predict anything whatsoever. And yeah, really what it comes down to is on Icebox, BOBA were able to get away with early picks a lot more often than SISU ever did, because of Ayumi and how she positions herself and how she's set up by her teammates, Elika, Delbisky, Kohaibi even, being able to provide that support, being able to provide that stability. Because if Ayumi is caught out in an open position, Kohaibi's watching a separate angle just to make sure that she's not going to get pinched from, her flanks, from his sides. So that's what happens on Icebox, but I don't know what's going to happen on Haven.
Going into Haven, though, I feel like it's a lot more similar of a map to Sunset than Icebox. I don't know, so.
A little bit. Well, I mean, it's the
like
main thing is.
two.
Yeah, it's one of the 3 site maps, and you also have that middle ground where, similar to Sunset, there's that little, gap where you could compare market to Garage on Haven in some senses, but that means you really want to have more map control. You lose a player on defense, and it's that much more difficult to kind of control everything, right? Because you leave a certain gap in your map, and your opponents can slip through that way, and yada yada yada. So things like that can happen, and your opponents really need to be able to play that sharp and be aware of everything that could be happening. And that's why agent compositions are something that we need to focus on. For now, I mean, just thinking about the players, you've got Kohaibi, you've got Ayumi, and they've been, historically been proven to perform that well. And they've always done that consistently on maps like Haven before. So I'm still going to stick with my prediction that BOBA pretty much takes this. SISU has to show us a little bit more, especially after giving us such a nail-biter map on Icebox.
Are you giving me a chance to change my predictions? Because it kind of sounds like it, Quack.
Maybe?
But no, I'm gonna stick with Sisu. But I feel like reading the flow of things and how things are going down today, I feel like Haven could be another 13-9. But as you mentioned, we have to see what they cooked up on Haven, because we might get some unorthodox comps here and there. But we're just still waiting for Agent Select, I guess.
I really think it's gonna be unorthodox, though. It really feels. I'm not sure, because I thought it might have been a little bit unorthodox for Icebox, seeing how Sisu picked the ISO before. But who knows? Maybe they go back to something more meta for Haven, just because it's the qualifying match for Game Changer specific, right? So I think the main thing that I want to see from Sisu is just more consistency, more stability. We can't see too many of these Hail Mary plays from Sawamura, where she dives in, puts herself in such precarious positions, and wants to have that tailwind to back herself off into, safer territory. I don't know if she's going to be able to keep doing that, especially on a map like Haven, where you've got a lot of tight spaces, tighter corners. You have to be careful. Gosh, jeez. Play alongside your teammates.
That's funny, because that's exactly the opposite of what I was gonna say. I would love to see Sisu playing the neon comp, something that's more meta, but you talked about being safe and being disciplined, so.
I don't know, actually, yeah, why not? Let's just let them fight each other, go completely crazy. I mean,
honestly, I feel like there's a good chance we might see ISO though on Haven.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, it all comes down to, how they've worked this out with their coach. And I think Neon, it's not too crazy, actually. Neon works really well on Haven, especially if you know how to combo the relay bolt and, take spaces like A main with that. It could be very useful, but it, again, depends on how they've worked with their coach for this. And we don't have a lot of data just because we don't get to watch a lot of these teams perform in Game Changer Southeast Asia. So it's hard to say, but for a team like BOBA, what we've seen before is, for example, that Kohibi Reina, how she's able to play that aggressively, have all those leers. And then what's interesting also is the fact that they've played, what I'm seeing at least, with a Harbor and Chamber before, and a Clove too. So that's very aggressive.
Okay. Nothing like that.
We're not doing
Whoa!
What
Oh
a
my
cool-
god! I did get my wish. But it's Ayumi on Neon.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, yeah, it's a Yumi on the Neon. It's gonna be interesting because that's the only difference apart from the Killjoy and the Cypher. So having the Cypher trips could be useful, but then you also have Kohibi with the lockdown, which just covers a lot of space, and that's always more useful. BOBA is starting out with the defense too, so if a Yumi is able to play that Neon to perfection, collect on a lot of those first kills, SISU might be in for a world of hurt. Meanwhile, for SISU, they're playing with something a lot more standard, but the main thing is, if they're able to play this with more stability, much needed stability, for Sawamura to play alongside Khan and Paidi as well, who is often on the Sentinel, then they might be able to perform a bit better.
Okay, so Haven on the horizon. So casters, please take it away.
On the horizon, indeed. This is going to be a very, very interesting one, and also a decider whether or not BOBA would finally set foot to Pacific after this one. Now, a very interesting comp coming in here for BOBA. I think it's been really hard for us to really keep track of what they've been playing because they've been changing up their comps like they change their clothes almost every day. Last time they played, what was a chamber, we saw Reina, a Harbor, a Clove, Sova. This time around, Jen's getting her her wish, excuse me, sorry Jen, getting her wish onto this one with the Neon. And I think it's gonna be really exciting looking at this. We have seen her play that Neon before previously, and it is, I think, quite a fun thing to see. Now, coming on this map as well, if we look at the stats coming in for SISU, I believe they have only played this map, at least since they had changed their team against Bass Kisune. With only one time, in fact. So both teams going up a little bit more different this time. I am really excited.
Yeah, and obviously back in our differentials time, Haven was not yet in the map pool, so first, they were only playing one time previously, not a lot of us to go off of, but here we go, a Yumi, fast down short already.
That Valley is playing a little moved out of the way. Not deterred at all by that fault line. So Presence has been aware. It's gonna be Baby TZ with that opener, finding out Polly. Rough for them to lose their smoker very early. Sawamura answers back. It's gonna be Ayumi that gets taken down here. Baby TZ quite low already, as the other members of BOBA still standing strong. Not really too eager to rotate so quickly. Crams putting any presence onto Garage. I think she did spot out that turret, so it's all about that silence and cutting a noise. Perhaps a B hit might be their play.
Yeah, I think Graham's is just trying to hope for to catch an over rotation. Now she's gonna make a bit of presence towards B, and that drags the breach away from the A side. It's only Baby TZ and 22 HP down here in short. Do they clear it though? SISU still not committed just yet on where they want to end up. Graham's is still somehow alive and being a bit of a cockroach on the B side, just drawing attention, but still BOBA hold in their place. Khan finally finds the frag on the Baby DZ. Aluka catches that lurk, and now they have that A side for their taking. A post-plan situation gonna come in 3-on-3.
No smokes for SISU. Might be a challenge to really hold that retake, but look at this crossfire, is so good. The util coming up forward, sprays all around. Sawamura good for one, Khan for one more. That choke, a thorn in every retake side. I was a bit worried that they don't have smokes, but when you have that much util to play with, that's enough.
Yeah, I thought the aftershock was gonna be enough, right, to flush out the player in graffiti. I like what SISU did though, right? They just waited for Grahams to find some contact. They found that player towards the side. Here, I don't know how Sarumura was alive for such a long time, but that just allowed Piety to swing out and assist the teammate as well. So great round coming from SISU. I just want to get things started.
Cage triggered.
It's not a passive play, but it's gonna be Delbisky chunked down. Only 39 HP left, so Mura very aggressive, very quick. Not sure where Delbisky is. Finally finds her in the end. Kohaibi puts a bit of damage herself. 2 members of SISU chunked down already. Completely rushing out of the smokes over from Garage. Grahams
Cage triggered.
trying to stop that mid lurk from Ayumi.
My eyes
Doing
are
such a
better
lot
than
of damage
yours.
before
No
finally
more charges
ended.
left.
Scram coming in from B
Enemy
Link.
down.
Finds a Luca. Clean. Very, very clean, in fact, from Sisu, bringing 3 of their guns into the next round. Let's see if they can convert that bonus. But for Boba, they want to try and win this round to potentially snowball, at least on defense side.
Yeah, I don't know how Kohaibi actually came out of the smoke and managed to get 2 kills with the classic. But this is an interesting change. I want to pinpoint, or like at least highlight Graham's, right? Going away from an aggressive duelist role to now playing the sentinel role. She's going to be the player for the lurks, for those timings, catching rotations. And we'll see how she fares on this map. So far, it's a pretty solid start. This time, fast play down towards B, it seems. Sisu, the shock darts will break the Killjoy utility. Into the side we go.
This is what I call the Sisu special. Gun deficiency does not stop them. In fact, they go even more aggressive. Planted already, that spike. Aldron trying to spot out anyone. Sawamura can be very greedy. So many times she's disrespected smokes and cages and comes up on top. A crossfire onto grass here to come out forward. Kohaibi will go for the punish alongside Ayumi. One by one, the members of Sisu will eventually be dwindled down. Piety does go for 1, but no more than that. A very, very clean round here for Boba. Sisu not able to win out that bonus, but it's enough for them. But Boba, this might be the round where they need to be able to snowball as much as they can.
I like that play from Boba. They played it really patiently in Garage. They let Sisu have the site and get that plant down, but you can see Sisu not content with all playing outside of the B side, right? They wanted to gain control over something, thinking that Garage was lightly guarded, but instead it was the complete opposite. 2 players with a bit of a trap setup, expecting them to peek in, and then Boba capitalized, found those kills, snowballed it, and was able to essentially eliminate any threat of a post plant, just completely taking them out before the spike got even tapped. So nice protocols coming from Boba. Oh, interesting timeout that they're taking though, the 4th round. You don't see that too often, but perhaps just deciding what they want to do with this round. Guns can be dropped over the BBTC. Tech pause. All right.
So it's a tech pause or a tech pause
I
or both?
understand.
Which one is it?
Tash, you tell me. You're the queen of these, no?
I was just making fun of Zach the other day, how she had a full, I would say, jinx onto these things, but looks like she's not the problem here. But coming back into what you were saying, adding on to that as well, you know, Sisu, they've been a team that likes to play aggressive, and Boba, understanding this, they're looking to punish aggression instead. They're not trying to really fight on head on, because I think it's a good understanding that for players like Sawamura, Piety, who are very quick on those taps, very sharp in fact, that they're not able to really capitalize. Playing safe might be their call here by playing those off angles. Liking that coming in from Boba, but for Sisu, every round that they seem to have lost, they have these little minor adjustments which can really throw off Boba. So both these teams are really just outplaying each other every single round here.
Yeah, hopefully we get the tech pause sorted out. You know that there's been a couple of circumstances outside of our control. Hopefully things all go fairly well. But yeah, I do agree with your point. I mean, Sisu, we've seen them hit incredible shots in the past 2 maps. And I think coming into Haven, it's less crazy compared to Sunset Icebox, right? It is that typical map that we all know and love. It has basically never gotten any significant change since its release. So it really comes down to how you want to call in those mid rounds, right? Those rotations. And I will say though, having that Neon on defense will allow you to have a very fast rotate, right? Whether it's towards C or towards A, the Neon can basically cross the map faster than any other agent. Maybe Yoru is a bit faster, but you know, Yoru is a little bit harder to maneuver and, you know, make it work. So I will expect to see a Yumi being very versatile, you know, moving around the map with those sprints of hers, and basically ensuring that there's always at least 1 or 2 players at any site that SISU decide to commit to.
I mean, I agree with you on that rotation thing as well. She's also been sort of lurking as well on this defense side, so I love seeing that proactiveness from her. We all know that the Neon Zero movement error shooting thing, yeah, that has been very terrifying to see in some players' hands. We've seen it happen in BCT, we've seen it happen in challengers as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to do that here as well. Retakes might also potentially be something that Ayumi could capitalize on. That fast lane is something that they could use as well, so there's a lot of retake potential from this BOBA comp as well coming forward. Love seeing it. But, you know, it's really interesting seeing Baby TZ and Kohaibi kind of swap around these roles. I did question before when Baby TZ came through, you know, how exactly these roles will be played. Because Kohaibi previously in SMG was playing only the Sentinel. So we're seeing all these role swaps coming through from BOBA. I think it gives Coach Falfafal a lot to play with when it comes to comps.
Yeah, I mean, when I was doing that top 10 rated players, I was going through all the agents that they were playing, and I think BOBA has the most diverse agent pool out of any.
Baby TZ with 6, homie. I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah. Kohaibi had played 4 agents, Ayumi played 5, and I didn't really get a chance to look at the rest, but it seems like the players of BOBA are very comfortable playing a wide range of agents, and that just gives the coach so much more opportunities to like kind of cook up different strategies. And I think we kind of saw that on Sunset, right? When you brought in the Clove with the Astra. Unfortunately, it didn't really work on their favor, but again, it's that experimentation that BOBA has that can keep them fresh, keep them exciting, keep them unpredictable.
Yeah, I think we don't really see them truly show their hand until Grand Finals in the previous stage as well, because it's been role swap upon role swap, agent swap against agent swap. It's really hard to pinpoint and really hard to know what to expect because, you know, given that every player has a different tempo with different agents. And I think for BOBA, being able to play this many types of agents and being able to play with so many different, I would say, tempos in each game has been, I think, something that's really great for them. Regardless, this is a very prolonged tech pause, so let's talk a little bit about the other side of the coin here, SISU. Now, for SISU, I think after Aura Differential and the announcement of Stariban no longer playing, I was a little bit more concerned toward that, IGL pick. I was wondering who's going to be stepping up. And I was quite surprised to see Polly move from that coach role on the way to the player role. And speaking of that, she's the one with the opening pick here onto Delbisky. Ayumi, quick to take up the space onto Sewers, takes out the cam, and Graham still holding on strong onto a site, a main at least. As Sawamura and the other teammates just completely flood onto C. Quick plant to come through. And loving the fact for BOBA, they're understanding that strength has always been in numbers. Kohaibi hasn't been moved quite yet. And Ayumi gonna just quickly rotate forward. Playing into Cubby here will be Polly, the one who opened this round very quickly. No Delbisky means no smokes. A little bit harder to go onto the site itself just to really deny that vision and information. With Grahams playing toward the mid-side lurk. Ayumi tagged already. They know exactly where she is. Hunter's Fury come through and Kohaibi taking a more aggressive stance. But over toward garage area will be Grahams. A nice cross to come through, giving a lot of support to her teammates. Zero error or not, Grahams is the one to come up on top. And this one, 3 to her name. With only Kohaibi left, that plant will not be denied. She's aware there's going to be one very, very close. Spots out Khan, but it's going to be Khan that's quicker on that contact.
I loved what SISU did right there. It was the late play towards Garage, and despite the alarm bot in Garage actually tagging onto Grahams still managed to pick up, 2-3 frags right here. No idea. The comms, I expect it to be a little bit, messy in this kind of a situation, but she gets away with 3. And despite BOBA actually getting the majority of the kills on C Long, it was that Garage push, right? The spike was planted in the open. It was planted for Garage, and that just allowed Grahams to activate so well and timed perfectly with the flashes and the stuns.
Revealing area.
Util dump from both sides. Both teams forced to concede. Shock dart to clear out any util in front of B. Finds nothing. A lot of versatility coming here from our Sentinel Kohaibi. Making sure that she can prolong the lifeline of her utility. For now, Garage will be where the members of SISU have their eyes on. Slowly, just sort of lurking, slinking their way into the garage site itself, finds no one. Full control of that as the other members of BOBA taking a more aggressive approach onto A, B with only the utility, and C with 2 members. Delbisky here spots out one playing so well on top of platform. The beautiful thing about SISU is that they're always there for that trade. Chunked down to 70 HP, Sawamura relatively healthy. Gonna be pivoting toward B site. See the pings come through here from BOBA. Holding so far back. Finds no one. Kohaibi noted. In fact, taken out. But Baby TZ, nasty shot.
30 seconds left.
2. Knows there's one more there. Con to answer. Takes more and beyond as Ayumi. It's been such a lurkception here. Both teams outplaying each other, but Graham's will be the one to note out the positioning here. Neural theft used and will buy some time with that aftershock, and Graham's unfortunately walks straight into it. Oh, what a blunder.
This is the second time that an aftershock has fully killed a player, just more than aware. You remember on Sunset where Kohaibi was also a victim of it?
But yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I'm not sure if there was a bit of
30 seconds left.
there's maybe the indicator not showing clearly exactly where, but this is a bit interesting. Never seen it happen twice in a series before, but especially to different players. But regardless, still around for BOBA's taking, and this time around, Money not looking the best. Samura pops the knives. Let's see if she can deal a bit of damage right here. BOBA creeping up towards this A long position. This has been a consistent thing by Ayumi so far. The cam should be able to spot out her position. Be more than wary of that spot now.
There.
SISU, trying to suss out more information here. There's always been those scrims, those util dumps onto A main. Sawamura on the top side knows where Aluka is. The flash to come forward. Can her teammates actually answer? No, they can't. SISU takes up space and beyond. Both links in their command. Ayumi, alone here, wasn't able to capitalize. Needs to be able to play very, very safe. Trying to capitalize off this off angle, finds no one. Spots out Sawamura here. I think they're thinking that she might be over on the other end. Coming forward onto the site, but look at that. Clean one from Graham's, just take her down. And SISU, one terrifying thing about them, their waterfall explosive take onto a site. It's just something that's really, really hard to manage. How they just quickly fall into both different links and just end all the players holding.
Yeah, BOBA tried to kind of flood out to assist the players on side, but every single trade was denied. SISU was so aware of every single angle that BOBA was going to peek out from, and they marked them completely. And every single kill, as they swung out, they were taken down. Nice round coming from SISU right there. Awareness is abound. Oh, Kohaibi, nice frag right there. The stun and the drone though. I don't think she's going to fight too much more. They might capitalize off of this.
Scanning ahead.
Still, it's gonna be SISU that comes up on top. 2 already in the bag. Aluka playing it very safe inside of the smokes. Forced to give up that space. Just the fault line. Sorry, excuse me. Aftershock. Flushing them out of the area. And they're gonna be playing this over on C-Long. It's gonna be sprays on sprays. A shooting galley, if you may. And here is the overdrive coming up through. Rolling Thunder just to displace her. She is not movable at all. Khan playing it so quickly from Garage, but she has done the damage. 2 already in hand. Ayumi once again, final man left standing. Fault line displaces her. Stunned already. Location determined, and Paiti just swings out, pops her down. And SISU taking away another round. This attack side from SISU is terrifying with how they react and play off their util. See a fault line, they swing out. See an aftershock, they have the crosshairs ready for anyone moving out of the way. You can't really do much when all of the space you are holding has been completely taken away.
And again, it's a Garage play. This time, it's not Graham's, it's Khan to come in from Garage to take down 2 of their players. And BOBA, yeah, important timeout right here. this kind of C strat that they've been running has been working successfully already 2 rounds. Not back to back, but in this half it has worked out. Granted, it was just a low buy of theirs, but now they need to start putting rounds on the board. They can't let SISU get away with too many more rounds. Especially we have that Neon overdrive available. I think a couple more kills would have been better, but still, they got a bunch of ults now for this round they could work with. Let's see what they want to cook up. Maybe something aggressive. Maybe something to push the attackers back with 1 or 2 ults. You got a Yuumi that can be really swift with the slides as well. Let's see what they have in store.
Man, should be a good one, but one thing about Boba is that I really don't want this, 2 or 3 ults to be used to be their win con. Boba looked so strong, especially in round 3, but it's SISU that's been managing to just chain and rounds and rounds and rounds, and SISU, they know how to capitalize, they know how to play together, and on top of that, they're very, very sharp. Ayumi, despite the last few rounds not going well in their favor, she still takes a more aggressive approach. Wanna really be able to hold on to A long. Micro angles noted. Con, it's an idea where she might be. Both of them not being able to see each other. Basically, their vision just split by a hair of a wall there.
Yeah, and you look at the position where a Yuumi is, right? She can call for a team to fully stack towards B and C. And well, if SISU don't push back a Yuumi, it's gonna be super difficult to take control over C or B. Aljun now gonna come out to clear out this mid position. I'm gonna be spotting anyone. Oh, and now that activates a Yuumi because she gets dinked. She's forced to fall back towards the side, and the rotations slowly come in to bolster her as well. SISU might want to capitalize off of this initial presence. They want to execute into this A site.
Flash as well, but they aren't able to just follow up with that. You can see the fast lane used as well
30 seconds left.
as that fault line. Now SISU forced to move out of the way. Graham's already on B site. Caged 1 area. Aluka has an inkling that they might be close by. Gonna move those corners. Rolling Thunder, use Ayumi, good for 1, and so is Kohibi. All these fights happening all around the map. Hunter's Fury for Baby TZ to fight Polly as well.
10 seconds left.
And understanding and just dwindling the number of SISU from different sides.
Our job gets a
A
whole
lot more cleaner round from Boba. That timeout was exactly what they needed to win this. Understanding that to be able to break the aggression of SISU is to be able to break down their play and their numbers.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, it's the ultimate. The Rolling Thunder denies them the spike plant. You got the Hunter's Fury in tandem with it, so all the players are stunned up. They can't really move too fast. The Hunter's Fury got a kill right there. And Kohibi, I think another key player this time. She didn't use her ult, but she stood her ground towards Garage. And despite, I think she was stunned up, she still managed to get that kill. Very aggressive towards Garage. They've tried pushing Garage multiple times. She fell a couple too many times, but this time she is successful. This time, a Yuumi yet again consistently pushing up here long. But Con punishes her for that over-aggression. Nice opening pick.
Flash to come through, and Sawamura quickly just moves straight into Garage. Delbisky
blinding.
good enough to find Sawamura. They get onto the site. Polly try to quickly get to the site as Con. B site taken away from their control. Make that the entirety of A-Link as well. But she's swindled down. 7 HP left. Aluka will be the one to come up on top here in the Garage play, but Polly gonna be saying that's enough. Takes away another round from Boba. Boba trying their best to try and chain as many rounds as they can. They just can't. When SISU, a team that's just so quick to not only chain rounds but also adapt. Again, they're noting every single presence of Boba onto a site, marking them one by one.
Yeah, no, exactly what you said. They are playing like the better team here right now on this map. I mean, you saw how dynamic they were. They got that dink onto, I think it was a Yuumi, or they got a kill onto a Yuumi. They pushed back the players towards A. You saw Con come in from the late lurk towards mid. And they're taking turns, right? Graham's, we saw her a couple of times being the lurk. Now Con becomes the linchpin. And they're so dynamic. They're so fast to change up what they want to do. They know exactly where the Boba players are going to be playing from. And it's this synergy and this swiftness in decision that's going to get them those round wins. That's going to keep them 2 steps ahead of Boba. And yeah, it's rough. They're going in that vicious cycle of a buy and a save and a buy and a save. This time, they've got a couple of rifles that they could work around with. They got Kohaibi's lockdown as well. But of course, you got Khan that could counter it with the Hunter series. So a bit of mind games right there and how they wanted to use those ults. This time, Ayumi not going for A. She's down towards C with the breach. So you might see a little bit more aggression as is kind of that tried and true of a Neon.
This time it's silence from Sisu. A little bit more passive. Usually you can start to see that Corral start onto A site. Not happening this time, so is Ayumi. Her aggression this time will be on C. Saw smokes already happening onto C area. Over onto Cubby here. I think Ayumi is looking to just swing out off that contact play. Notes out one, relay bolt used, and Polly is just used quickly, just give up that space. There'll be skill alone, and Luca is also here to play. Flash to come forward, and Boba says, I think that's enough space. Denied! We have to move out of the way. Don't want to meet an entirety of a 5-man stack there onto C main. As Graham's this time still playing to the garage. Gets away with it. Gives them a neural theft, and Graham's finds another head to pop. Hunter's Fear just to clear the backside. Delbisky, too much to handle. The entirety of the Boba squad knocked down one by one like bowling pins. Kohaibi and Baby TZ, the dynamic duo is still here. Only a sheriff in hand for Baby TZ. Hard to see, can't get onto the site. Denied to go into the space itself. Now the question is, how are they going to be able to break into the site to play together? As for Sisu, they have protocols, they have double swings coming up forward. But if Baby TZ is able to go for this isolated play, she might be coming up on top. But look at this hold! Two people swinging out together, and for Kohaibi, perhaps this might be a call to save.
Oh, she has to. She's being trapped in as well. Con is in mid. Con is in B. Spots her out as well. She doesn't even get a chance to save that weapon. Literally what we were discussing before this round started, Tash, was exactly what happened. Boba, triple man push down C long. Sisu more than aware of it, and then Graham picks up the empty space. She knows that there's a big gap here in garage. Picks up 2 kills just like that. They find the last player at the back of the C site, and the last 2 were just a formality. Sisu are looking so in tune with each other right now. Graham's beautiful looks coming through. Khan will pick up the pace if she needs to as well. This team is looking unstoppable against BOBA, what is known as the second best team in the region.
There.
BOBA finding themselves challenged here this time. Any aggressive style play will be read very well by Sisu, and they're quick to capitalize. No cranny corner. You bet Sisu would check it.
No charges left.
Now this time Sawamura ready to go inside. Notes the presence of that Silva. Baby TZ only able to go for one. Ayumi as well. Aluka with the stinger. Polly will also follow up. Very, very aggressive start. Very explosive from both teams. Despite the gun disparity, it's finally a 2-on-2. Delbisky, Sheriff in hand, and so is Kohaibi. Playing it very safe. A good crossfire to come through. They knew her presence. Got her out with her utility in hand. Sisu, Polly, 3 members of BOBA to her name. Heaven side, fully in her control. Kohaibi, one of the best sentinels we've seen thus far. Trying to make this work. It's gonna be hard. The area is held. A crossfire to come through, and Sisu, 8 rounds already, and BOBA still wondering, cannot answer on how exactly they want to play this defense side. Every single maneuver, every single play punished so well by Sisu, and Sisu is just such a team that's so reactive instead of play aggressive.
I mean, that 2v1 was played to perfection. I mean, Polly just taking from the shadows, like ensuring that there's no way in hell Kohaibi is going to win that. Teleport straight towards A long. They fall by crossfire. They peek at the same time. I mean, that is the small little fundamentals that Sisu have in place that will win them these rounds and will look so clean, so polished. This is a beautiful half coming in from Sisu, and they're looking to extend it to a 9-3 half, right? This the last round of this half. Kohaibi still yet to use that lockdown. Surely she has to use it right now. This is the last one, last chance for her. It's garage presence this time for SISU. Drone to just scout things out. Nothing for the taking just yet. Koibi pops it down though.
Shadows traveling.
You how it happens, how it pans out. It might just flush them back. Yeah, they're gonna respect things. The paranoia as well. They have no choice but to escape here. But that has drawn out the lockdown very early on. There's still a minute 10 seconds left on the clock. They can explore the rest of the map.
Graham's this time. Garage has always been her area of play, and Koibi, despite a lockdown being put down, knocked out already. And now SISU are okay for this mid-round call. Just hit the pause button. Baby TZ, forced to move out of the way. That flash displacing her. From the shadows will be used. Notes already where the members of SISU are. That's enough for them to give some information. Polly rushes straight to side. Will they check out where Zelbiski is? No, she doesn't.
C.
Found the spike. Knows there's one in garage. Graham's is there
I have
to save the round at the very least. Boba, 2 members down compared to SISU. Moves out of the way, and the sprays come up for somewhere despite the fact that they have been moved out of the way because of that util. Graham's 3 tornado. Koibi is here, but Graham's will be the one to end everything at 3-9. We've heard of curses, but for Boba, is this enough? That's the question that we have for the day. So, for Quack and Jen, what do you guys think? Do curses exist?
What do we think? What the heck is going on? 9-3. Honestly, I do believe in curses, but I feel like SISU is so close to winning this series. Like, Boba would have to come up with something strong in the second half to make sure that the curse comes back and they save the day.
Yeah, that's really it, right? I mean, we're 9-3. Who would have thought that in a match between SISU versus Boba, this is what we would have for Game Changer Southeast Asia? I mean, honestly, whether it's curses or not, yeah, maybe, you know, players always have like superstitions and stuff here and there. But the one thing we can say for certain is Khan and Grams are on a whole other level on this map for some reason. I think Kolden made a really excellent point that Grams, you know, normally on the duelist, she's already got that sharp aim, but now on this Cypher, she's dedicated to the kit that she has. She doesn't have to be too flashy with the mobility or anything. All she has to do is to be that backline support, to find those positions, to be able to sneak into garage and get those sneaky shots onto players like Kohai and whatnot, and she repeatedly does that more than once. In that final round of this first half, she gets a 4K, 4 kills, just to put our team with 9 rounds in the bag. It's performances like that alongside Khan that really makes SISU such a formidable force on this map. I mean, Sawamura is still doing Sawamura things a little bit here and there as the Jet, but on the other side, you know, we're seeing a Yumi on this Neon, and she's trying some things, but the impact is not quite there yet. Even with the overdrive, it's not enough kills, it's not enough space gathered for a team. In fact, SISU are actually doing a very good job at drawing out Boba's early utility. So as we head on over the next half, that pistol round, Boba needs to get it.
That will be the start of the curse. Okay, back to you, Tash and Kolden.
And there we go. We have the idea of what we need to activate that curse. The pistols.
Yeah, as I like to say, it all starts with the pistol. I never thought I'd see Boba on the decider map down 3-9 up against SISU. Not even Zipto. This is SISU. This is the up-and-coming team. And if SISU pull it away, I think this will be the first and biggest upset so far in the playoffs. An incredible one to put them in Bangkok as well.
They need it. As Quack said, the biggest problem Ayumi has been facing was being able to take up that space, take up those kills. Every time she attempts to, she will be punished. All eyes in garage here. There is a trip there at the very least. So Koibi has to be a bit more wary of that. Grias has done a phenomenal job of holding garage on attack side. Defense might be the same here. That flash potentially did save Aluka's life. So Omura is low already, but Delbisky Ayumi, look at this push up from both sides of that box, giving them the entirety of Seaside, and they want more. Koibi here from the garage. The Asia put in that damage as well. For 1 and for 2 here, Boba. They take up all that space and more. What's up, Khan? plays together here. Triple four-man swing. Shot to push them back. A flash as well, but for BOBA, that is the play they want to do. The teamwork, being able to swing off each other. This is what we wanted to see. And BOBA this round, comfortable. As Jen said, perhaps the start of the curse. Let's see if they can actually stand this anti-eco.
Yeah, I mean, BOBA need to remember who they are, right? The accomplishments, what each individual player on this team has accomplished so far. And that pistol round, that is signs of life. That is signs that they are, you know, alive at the very least. Yumi, I will say, as the Neon, is a lot more potent on attacking side compared to defense. And see if that's gonna be consistent throughout this half. Fast push coming from Yumi. Instant entry. Baby TZ picks up short as well.
Power to zero error, and Polly finds two. Right as Baby TZ had her util in hand. You really gotta admire the audacity that SISU has to play that aggressively and take up space. Going for that punish, it's massive. But the guns, a bit much to deal with. That's a classic in Graham's hands. Aluka answers. At what cost? Two members of BOBA left. Good spray from Aluka. They keep the rifle, they keep the Vandal. But it's still quite a number on the economy for the next round.
Yeah, I totally agree. They only bring in those two rifles. I think they fully bought into that as well. So that is a decent amount of damage being done. But you can see the difference, right? Yumi now being so aggressive on this attacking side, you can't really do that too much on defense, especially without assistance from your utilities, which is a little bit harder, right? Your defense, you don't want to lose map control. But yeah, now I want to see a Yumi being unleashed, being that Neon that we all know she can be extremely potent on this agent. And again, early map control being given over. Sawamura just finds the second player in. Baby TZ with a crucial trade right back. Nicely answered by BOBA to kick things off.
Really gotta admire Baby TZ for being able to play off that. Good discipline coming up forward. Graham's this time. Putting that break of the trip.
Triggered.
Putting that trip just deny a little bit more space, but
Shadows.
for the other members of BOBA, because they've really pulled and given so much idea and space, really both to clear out the back of platform. But will there be a follow-up is the question. Ayumi, Texter, zero error doing his work? No. Rams and Khan coming up on top here in this one. Playing so carefully on top of those angles coming in from platform. Gohaibi taps two heads from garage side. Forced to play a little bit more passive here because of those smokes. Paranoia, excuse me. She's still alone, 1-on-2. We've seen magic happen from Gohaibi. But for SISU, they're sharp. They've noted where she is. One angle toward the backside, one from behind platform. She checks it. They know exactly what it is. The double swing will be doing the due diligence and work here to clear the area. Good attempt, saw the vision from Gohaibi, but SISU, a little bit more strong on that discipline.
I don't know how Graham's got 2 kills there. She was stunned up. The slide came in perfectly. I think we're going to be able to see it later, but this opening duel right here, really nicely done to trade things out. Graham's catches Ayumi and then jumps up to catch Delvisky as well. I mean, granted, it was just a bonus. They did deal quite a bit of damage, and SISU's economy will be kept honest, but still, great attempt coming in from BOBA. Now they got to try it yet again. And again, it's going to be this main fight.
Samura once again, she pushes up forward. That Aldron has noted out the other member there. Oh, she still gets one! Challenging that Aldron! But excuse me, Delbisky also answers back. Her name a bit hard to say, but it's okay. She puts in the work, she puts in the numbers and the headshots, so I'm okay with that. Coming into this one. It's Khan's turn to put in the Aldron. Those 2 members already of BOBA. 2 players coming in for sewers and 2 for A main. 3 eyes onto the areas, onto A site. Still with that recon, forced to move out of the way because of that fault line.
There they are.
Does spot out 2 members of SISU. A beautiful recon played by Baby TZ. Piety for 1, but not before BOBA completely demolishes the other whole members of SISU on the side itself. Graham's over from the other side. All alone here. In A site. Such a terrifying sight to go for in those retakes. Choke point. Potential for a crossfire from hell. So it's graffiti. No idea where to see. For her, perhaps it might be a call to save, but doesn't really matter. She wants to go and still try for it. Dwindling down the economy, the numbers, finds the area, smokes as well as the aftershocks used here. Moves back. Cam not spotting anyone at all. Look at how much util is there. Tall ask, a mountain to climb. I think she's just gonna end it here.
Yeah, Guardian's not the most ideal weapon you want to save, but your money is completely shot. You don't really have much to bring into this. And while SISU has their double digits, BOBA answers back with one more. Persistence was the key right there. The traits not in the favor of SISU. I think that Recon Dart on the backer side really exposed their crossfires, right? It tagged out Con as well as Piety. They were playing behind the default box. And from then on out, BOBA, you know, they knew how to place their utility. They knew how to find those frags. And they did so pretty convincingly. Despite SISU placing 3 players on the A side, BOBA still managed to take on that fight and they win out in what is quite favorably the trade. So really nicely done. They only have the Guardian going to this round as SISU. It's going to be on the hands of Graham. He's here towards this she's here towards this A side. He gets tagged out. So now they know that is where the Guardian is residing. Do they want to test her? That's a question for them to find out.
C site left completely open, no one home. A site, more aggressive placement for the utility for Graham's. Bit of a gamble onto B site here with one holding into garage. But for BOBA, they're okay to play a little bit more safe, take some time. That's not the info. Pasao Amura pushing out so aggressively onto window side. Smokes forward, alarm bot will be broken. Is all the info they need. And quickly, the other members of BOBA just rush toward A site. Not able to get onto the site though because of the utility placed a little bit more on the aggressive side. Graham's gonna tag one here, but it's gonna be Kohaibi that catches one right before she's able to really pull back her composure. Delbisky as well. Good for this. It's gonna be a quick rotation onto C around the world in 80 days. Nah, it's gonna be faster than that. Clears out the backside with the paranoia. You see the recon as well.
Going out.
Then understanding that no one is here to greet them onto C site. And Ayumi, she wants to play a little bit more aggressive. BOBA's big problem was not being able to capitalize off each other, not being able to trade off each other. A lot of eyes here onto garage side as well, where SISU, Graham's has been able to really make her mark as one of the strongest holders and crossfires of all time, at least for this map, onto that side. Maybe TZ going aggressive. Answer, Luca Delbisky, one more each. A round win. A good anti-eco for them. And BOBA, slowly but surely, climbing the numbers.
Yeah, SISU, that was just a low buy round, so they had to take a little bit more risks. You can see here Graham's big kill coming in, and if unfortunately not able to get that win right there. And yeah, it's just the classics on the retake, but the main kill was Delbisky finding Con pushing C long. And once you manage to kill a player pushing C long all the way in your spawn, it's most likely that there's nobody in that C side, maybe maximum one. So a nice rotation being called by BOBA. That is what you want to secure these round wins. That's a gun round this time. Up in the hands of Saramura. Stun comes in as the escape out of there. Aftershock will allow Saramura to live for just a little bit longer. Ayumi forced back on that one. Meanwhile, the creep up towards C long. Delbisky testing the side yet again, breaks the trip. So Graham, aware that C might be compromised, wants to be aggressive and will pay with her life. And that is the key. That is indication for them to accelerate. Where the Cypher once held the C side, completely overrun by BOBA players.
Curiosity killed. Graham's there. Punished for really trying to go a bit more aggressive and take out space that she had no right to do or take. BOBA, a little bit more of an aggressive hold. Kohaibi are ready to pop that lockdown anytime. There she does it. You see the Paranoid used it. Yeah, already. Sawamura quick on that swing out. Con as well for one more. A retake that's just very strong. SISU does what they do best. Putting in that firepower, swinging out together. Coming up on top in terms of numbers here. But it's gonna be hard. His long area to hold. Hunter's Fury. Find some time. Find Sawamura. Gonna find two. Still holding, they managed to get it to half. The Aldrin gonna find the other member here. And BOBA, show us a beautiful play on how you want to play off that Hunter's Fury. Bringing them to an 8. A big lead. Whatever big lead that SISU had before dwindling down. And SISU forced to call that timeout.
Oh, what a back and forth round that was. There were so many ultimates in BOBA's hands that lockdown just delayed it for such a long time. And then Baby TZ's Hunter's Fury just to confirm things. Delbisky, we didn't see it exactly from a POV, but her managing to find 2 kills as they were trying to scamper onto their spike. Super crucial. And BOBA yet again put another round on the board. That's 3 in a row and a timeout by SISU to really reevaluate things, because now they're back on that eco round, right? If BOBA win this, they're up to 9, the round difference drops to 1, and at that point, I think even at this point, we can kind of see that the tides are slowly turning, the momentum is a bit shifting a little bit, and it could be anyone's game.
Loving how BOBA has been really proactive trying to note. So as Graham's, they love playing a little bit more aggressive. So what they've been doing is just sending Ayumi a little bit more aggressively and playing off that contact, really shutting down Sawamura in the second half. She's been forced off her aggressive angle so many times, but she really still gets that value on retakes with that op. It's phenomenal to see. Coming into this one, let's see what SISU has to offer.
A reminder that the winner of this map goes to Pacific, goes to Bank Power for that land. It's crazy that we're in this spot, but here we go. Just the knives of Sawamura, the only thing that's really that much more potent. I say that, but we've seen how the shares can do the damage as well. Can't count them out just yet. I will say Graham has got herself to a really deep corner towards C. So that's at least information. They know that C long is not a commitment just yet, at least.
Aldrin. Spots up, Polly. Oh, she's still not deterred at all. Unafraid, not scared.
Ooh.
Not sure if Ayumi had spotted her. I don't think so. Not too sure what happened there. We saw from the shadow, and Delbisky is just so cool here too. Holds the entirety of the backside, denies it from SISU. There's one more inside of this smoke as well. Kohaibi taking note of the potential lurks coming from Graham's. Pushes up a bit further up. Notice there's no one there. So good idea coming forward, puts in a bit of chip damage. You have to take him down, and Baby TZ just completely tie up the last few remaining loose ends. Only 1 round away from equalizing things, and BOBA already 4 in a row, showing us the attack side is completely in their control.
Yeah, and I don't think they heard from the shadows being teleported. Delbisky just catching Polly, unawares at all, completely. So, I mean, and then the flank being watched by Kohaibi. They've got the final player coming in from CT as well. SISU. Okay, got the guns in their hands right now. Got the operator for Sawamura, but Yumi super fast on this one. They break the chip and garage into the seaside.
As well as the fast lane just clear out. She just turned around. Unfortunately, not able to capitalize off it, but it's gonna be her teammates that do. Information played off perfectly. Ayumi can't get value, but can get the info.
Spike planted.
They get the plant as well. Khan here takes out the turret. Are playing off together with Sawamura. Unfortunately, Recon Ball gonna spot her out. Forced to move out of the way. How forced to just buy some time. Sawamura this time not able to get that positioning correctly with that op. Retake op, it's quite a big thing to ask for. Khan capitalizing off the whiff, but BOBA, what they have is the power of friendship. And finally, 10 to 10. That half looked so far away for BOBA to catch up. But BOBA is a team that has insane resilience.
Oh yeah, you can say that again. I mean, this anchoring from Graham's fantastic to find the first, but the trades, this when the smokes went down, 4 players just staring at Graham's position right there, and their attacking side looks like a completely different team. always back and back, neck and neck with each other, ensuring that those trades come through. And it's the fast-paced rounds that are catching SISU off guard. They can't handle the pressure of Ayumi. And yet again, the slide comes in, blindsides Polly out of the round. And again, the Seaside compromise, give it over. Boba, man advantage in the post plant. SISU with weaker weapons has to somehow contend with
What
this.
happened there to Grams? Nanoswarm was there. Sawamura here. Over on the other side. They say it's a attack round or defense round. She's over on the attacker's side. All alone. Still good enough for two. Sharp as ever, Sawamura. Squack says that's Sawamura things. Maybe TZ notes her. Takes her down. Kohaibi as well. Gonna find the cleanup to garage side. So Boba gonna be able to take another round in their pocket. Boba, all eyes on the prize. A team that came in a runner-up. It was devastating for them being crushed by Zipto. They need to show a lot more if they want to make it to their side. Coming into these next new superstars of Southeast Asia. Loving the step up from SISU. But Boba showing us that they're not to be counted out quite yet.
Oh, I mean, definitely not. This attacking side's pace, the tempo change up has been stifling for SISU. They have no answer for these fast pushes, these hard executes. They cannot hold on to the site. They aren't able to find those crucial frags that they need. And in the chaos, Boba are thriving. Sawamura again with the op in hand and peeks out, spotted out. And still re-aggressing Sawamura. Sawamura things.
Ooh, still enough chip damage to take out half her life. Still, for Boba, a little bit more disciplined and a little bit more hesitant. Trying to really find anyone from SISU who wants to aggress, but SISU this time says, yeah, that's enough aggressing for us.
Shadows
Gonna just clear out those areas on mid with the Owl drone. It's time to see that paranoia come through. Not talking about the body, but the mindset. Over in Sunset, them not checking or doing the due diligence in those corners have been Boba's downfall. It's really set them to really overthink every time they try to dig around. As you can see from the shadows used already by Delbisky, position has been noted, but they do have their teammates here. And Kohaibi, what pick? TZ answers. A rolling thunder through and through. Util dumps all around. This is Kit, and they love this. A con shuts out down Ayumi. Maybe TZ good to answer, but the same could be said from Paiti. What is happening on this side? It's almost like a shooting galley all around. Paiti is here. Luca for two. Polly answers. And now it's down to a one-on-one. Time, 5 seconds to go. They need to buy time. And Polly gonna capitalize. SISU brings it back when they need it the most. Getting their op as well as a consolation prize. We might potentially be going to see our first overtime for today. Holy!
All 24 rounds required. That kill right there by Con. That was so important to let them have control over the site. It made things so dicey, so back and forth, incredibly messy on the site. There's so many smokes that both sides were playing upon. But yeah, SISU with their man advantage at the very end. Not even man advantage, it was down to 1 versus 2. Polly manages to win that one out again. Fast-paced round from Boba.
This time around, Ayumi not met with a lot of resistance here. Con is still there. She is sharp as ever, but still will displace her fast lane.
You should run.
Cracking the site open in half. Playing out this off angle. Sawamura walks straight to Crosshair, but Luca and Baby TZ completely collapse onto the members of SISU as well. Graham's left her own devices here. Excuse me, all alone. Multi-frag queen, we can call her that. But post plans for Boba is nothing shabby as well. Has a bit of semblance of idea where she should be. Smokes all around. Ooh, capitalizes off that. Jump shot onto Luca.
Everyone hiding.
Gives her the neural theft. Enough information for her to play with. A lot more pressure from Kohaibi onto the top side. Can see a push start to happen there towards stairs as well. Nice little cage to play with, but Delbisky will just shut it all down. Good attempt from Grahams, but Boba will be the one to reach match point first.
I would have loved it if she saved that rifle, because now that money is horrible. It is not in a great spot. And yeah, catching Con out there in the open, that was uncharacteristic. Going back into the smoke with the AWP in hand. I think that's what Quack would call Sawamura things. This time it's not gonna pan out. And these fast-paced rounds, yeah, they stopped it in the previous, but it was extremely scrappy. It's not consistent. And SISU need to somehow find an answer to this. Either play full retake of a site, or stack a couple more players, you know, fight for the site with a bunch of util. Because Baby TZ now is Hunter's Fury, and they're pushing down long, spotted out, the sun comes in. Sawamura still wants to push on this. Paranoia will force her back though.
Good hold, good discipline, Boba understanding. A lot of players seem to have this mindset when they hit round 12. Just to play a little bit aggressive, be fast, make these mistakes, but Boba doing the due diligence. Piety answers, Piety for Luca will answer back. Hunter's Fury just to clear out the entirety of that site itself. Despite the gun disparity, this Zelvinsky is so low!
God!
3! Bring it to an overtime card with heroics! It's been that the entirety of this game!
Overtime.
What a round!
2v3, she pops the Hunter's Fury and across the map, she takes down 3, and we're going to overtime. It was blind, no, she didn't have a dart, it was just blind Hunter's Fury shots. The top fragger for her team, 23 and 15, saves them and bails them out. Oh my god.
Our two Silva players, 22 to 23, just really outdoing themselves in this map, showing us how much they want this. Okay, talk about Boba over and over again about their rivalry and how much they want to overthrow Zipto.
Healing area.
But for SISU, we have players who've played for so many years, Capricious and Khan. Some of the best sharpshooters here for Game Changers Southeast Asia. Hasn't been able to find success quite yet, but this is their best shot to show the world what they have to offer as well. All eyes on SISU. As you said before, might be the biggest upset to come forward if SISU weren't able to overcome Boba.
The little trap play set up in towards Garage. And it might get some value. SISU, I mean, Graham's is outside of Garage. She's gonna test it and falls victim. Sawamura's turn. Oh, nice pincer again from Boba. And it's gonna catch onto Khan this time.
Kohaibi already for
Deploying
2.
drone.
All these skirmishes happening throughout the map. Baby TZ taking up that space. Knows exactly what Sawamura is. Polly. Shadow steps onto the side, moves all the way to the backside. I think the members of Boba has noted this. Baby TZ gonna be sharper this time around, but Polly as well could do the same. Former team members
30 seconds left.
from Sapphire going above and beyond despite being on 2 different teams. Polly all alone here, but does she know timing might not be her best friend here. Ayumi is there. Good pincer all around, and here comes the collapse coming in from the members of Boba. They struggled before on defense side, but this time around they don't show it. Piety all alone, but Kohaibi, the master of C-Site, gatekeeper, call her whatever you want, is the one that comes out big in this one.
Yeah, that mini trap play towards Garage, that was all it needed to break apart
Switching
that round.
sides.
Graham's
Match
a little bit
point.
overeager. Got caught out first. That is not typical that we've seen her play in regulation. But she was the first one to go down outside the Garage. The A main push was successful thanks to the breach stuns. And then from that point onwards, Boba with that man advantage was able to clean things up pretty convincingly. Timeout now taken by SISU. And again, their backs up against the wall. This is match point for Boba. 1 round away from Bangkok, from that Pacific land. And it's the harder side now for SISU. SISU struggled on this defensive side. And they now have to do it in overtime.
SISU has relied so much on heroics. Whether it be from Piety, Sawamura, Polly, Graham's Khan, all of them able to multi-frag out and take these spaces and rounds. Each sharp, each with their own experiences coming onto the stage. But they cannot rely on heroics to be able to take out a team like Boba, who are a little bit more mechanically adept, a little bit more quick to play off each other. But SISU, if it's any team to really challenge Boba, it will be SISU here. Split 2 looking like they're split. Despite the change in roster, despite not having their previous IGL, they show us they can come here into this tournament with a full Southeast Asian roster and still thrive.
was the change, right? Boba in regulation, they were so aggressive on their attacking side. Tech pause coming in. This game has been going on so long.
Has it really only been our first series?
Yeah, it does feel like it though. Still got 2 more, Tash.
Dang!
I'll be moving to the desk. You can continue with Pilski.
Man,
A
hope
couple more
that
bangers after this. I can't believe it.
hopefully,
Still got 2 more.
hopefully Pilski doesn't crucify me for making fun of him earlier.
I think did he heard it? I don't think he heard it. So I think we're safe for now.
Shh, it never happened.
What?
What are we talking about here? Oh yeah. But coming into this one, you're really gotta give it to Boba. Push comes to shove when the mountain looks almost high and impossible to climb. You can expect a team like Boba to be able to do so. We're seeing a lot of teams step up here in Split 2. We saw it yesterday, almost on the first mapper where Zipto played. And now again, against Boba, both these teams are winning each other's map picks. And Haven, I don't know why, but throughout the entirety of Challengers as well as here, Haven has been a lot of the teams' go-to for deciders, and I don't blame them. The 3-mapper,
I like it though.
I love it. I love it. It's
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I prefer it more than the Ascent pick for deciders.
Yeah, you and me both. I think Haven is like that perfect map 3, where it's not too weird. Both teams probably have some experience playing on it, and then sometimes it just gets down to a fist fight on the side itself. And we've seen it a couple of times already in this map. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what Boba have. It might be a fast one yet again. That's what got them here in the first place.
But that fast pick did not do them any favors in the last round. But this time around, good shock dart, and now the fast lane. Full entry onto B side, and here comes the zero error movement. That's what we wanted to see. Ayumi taking up so much space all the way to C. In fact, Delbisky beelining it straight onto the defense side. Very aggressive hold. The util will give all the value they need. The paranoia used as well. Cloudburst denies them a bit more space. And you also have this smoke just to cut down any information forward. But it's gonna be Delbisky play this corner to perfection with Gohaibi. Boba, they know how exactly to play this. Reading the members of SISU to a T. Gohaibi and Paiti. 1 inch and so it's Khan. Aluka finally ends it in the end. That looks terrifying for Boba. But Boba comes up on top. Very, very close back. 13-9, 13-9, and an overtime. I could not see a more perfect ending. And congratulations to Boba breaking it to BCT. Well, rather, Game Changers Pacific over in Bangkok, Thailand. And once again, good morning, baby TZ. What a game.
That was a pretty long morning, all things considered. What a decider map. That was insane to watch. Unfortunately, Sisu, at the very final hurdle, they stumbled, and Boba, swept them off their feet. Absolutely stole their last round away. I'm lost for words. I mean, that series was insane to watch. It was so cool to see Sisu, take it to Boba and really push them to their absolute limits, which I thought only Zipto could do, right? But now they are showing that they are really, poised for that 3rd seed, for that 3rd team to get into Pacific. But yeah, that is how the cookie crumbles. Boba are into Pacific. Boba are the 2nd team. They'll be going in together with Zipto. But yeah, that was an incredible 3-mapper. We'll see what the panel has in store for us. Take it away, guys.
Thank you guys, and what a match that was. We were just screaming, oh my gosh, just tell us who's winning, tell us who's winning already. But as you said, Quack, a pistol round was definitely what Boba needed to activate that 9-3 curse, and now Boba are playing in Pacific. What a great accomplishment for them to have enough energy to get themselves across the finish line.
Yeah, they were really energized at the start of that second half. The aggression that they're brought to the table. I mean, first of all, Ayumi is starting to really go in a lot more, well, apart from aggression, it's just a lot of decisiveness and how she wants to use that fast lane. And also just the whole team working around it. They were working so well right off the bat, getting that pistol. They started to chain those winning streaks together. And then we got into overtime, Jen. You loved that, didn't you?
I was like, OT!
You got 2 more games to go. I really hope you're okay. But yeah, this was really just insane to watch. You know, apart from some of the craziest plays from players like Ayumi, a little bit of chaos from Sawamura,
Doing
Kohibi
Sawamura
as
thing,
well,
yeah.
clearly, yeah. But also the Sova players, right? How we even went into overtime was such a sight to behold. Just the Hunter's Fury coming out from Baby TZ, and then Khan firing a Hunter's Fury back of her own, but she got more than she bargained for. She had like 2 kills right off the bat, and then got the final 3rd one. Oh, I just I don't even know what to break down because there's just so much going on. But at the end of it, it's really all of these heroic performances from these star players from both teams.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, look at the first kills. 17
17?
from Boba, mostly Ayumi, I guess. You can definitely
has
see
to
why
be.
they chose to run the Neon once it got into the second half.
Yeah, it really has to be that. I didn't even know I could reach such a high pitch saying 17 that way. But yeah, it really was a Yumi. I think it was a really good call. Both sides trying to have some of the reads, especially for the first half. SISU had some reads for how BOBA was trying to push out on the defensive side. But once we went into overtime, that's when BOBA really started to exhaust, you know, most of their playbook, right? Trying to pull off some of these crazy strategies whereby they're trying to create false presence or bait out Sawamura. I mean, if we take a look at the heat map right here, you can see a lot more kills going on throughout the C site, but there are some going around the A site where, especially around A lobby or sewers, the fast lane is often something that a Yumi throws out just to bait Sawamura into peeking or just to check if anyone's around the corner. And I think that's kind of what their game plan kind of revolves around. Apart from that, there's also this round where a Yumi would sneak in through B site, but not to attack B. She goes from B all the way back into C site, and using that neon movement, like Tash calls it the zero error movement, slides in and snipes and chops someone down from the back. And then her team just controls C site that way. And it's just that much more difficult for SISU to retake from that position.
That's exactly what happened and what Boba, including Ayumi, did to make sure that they win the overtime. Now, Kohibi as well, she was doing everything she can to keep Boba, in that lead during the overtime as well.
Yeah, Kohibi, I mean, of course, it has to be her. That's one of the more impressive things about this squad of Boba is that Kohibi is IGLing. She's plays with such a high sensitivity, which is always one of the fun facts to throw out about her. But she's still able to play that stable and to play alongside her teammates, not just, like expecting them to dive in first and then doing everything else, but she shows that she has the fragging power. She's someone that
The fragging IGL, we keep emphasizing the importance of having an IGL that can also frag, especially these days now where everyone knows how to aim and everyone knows how to shoot. So definitely the proper IGL or the exemplary of what kind of IGL a team needs.
Oh my god, I actually just noticed also, she's not just the top fragger for this map alone. She was also the MVP for Icebox, having 22 kills total, plus 10 out of everyone on average. And she also had the highest kills on her team on Sunset, even though they lost that match. So, overall MVP, definitely
all maps.
Kohibi. Yes.
Alright, well, Boba made it into Pacific. I think they're gonna do really well in Bangkok. as well. But for now, they have another match left in the playoffs, which is playing Zipto next. But I think they can be pretty confident in their performance today and how they will do against Zipto. Is interview ready? Production?
I guess we'll wait a little second.
Okay, not yet. Right.
She's connecting to
But
the
yeah.
call.
Alright, so I was thinking though, when we were watching the highlight, pretty unfortunate for SISU because they had 9-3 lead. I was thinking, how many did they need to eventually close it out in the second half? Like, theoretically.
How many rounds?
12-1? Was that the scoreline that they needed?
It's 11-1.
Yeah.
That would have been so much. I mean, yes, it is a 9-3, and I really don't want to, fault Sisu too much. I feel like even with that many rounds, the main reason why they kind of lost at the end was just because of how good BOBA were at the end of the day. That's really what it was. We still had rounds where Grams was doing incredible things. Poly, even with the From the Shadow sometimes, and how they set themselves up around Hell on A site. And especially, of course, we can't not talk about Khan and that Hunter's Fury, or even
that
everything else that she provides. Yeah, exactly. They were doing so much, but a lot of it, I think, was just reactionary because they weren't expecting this kind of strategy from BOBA. They weren't expecting the Neon, and that's just kind of what happens in Game Changer Southeast Asia sometimes. Just not having enough reps against your opponents, and you just need to adapt quick enough. But, they weren't quite able to, and BOBA were just keeping them on their toes at all times. So a lot of credit to BOBA.
I think that's where Neon and Breach kind of shines the most. You're always in control of the pace, especially, when you're attacking as well.
Yeah, it really is. Just so much being controlled, and you really see it with a Yumi and how she slides in behind her opponents. Even sometimes when it's just like a blind full send into C site, a Yumi at least gets one kill.
One.
Yes.
That's what you need from the duelist, At least one kill.
Oh, actually, okay, so that's interesting. Yumi, yes, always at least one kill. She does have 5 first kills, also 5 first deaths. But more interestingly, it's Kohaibi with 5 first kills as well, and only 2 first deaths. Baby TC has 4 first kills, 0 first deaths. So I think that just tells you how much this whole team provides when they are all online and fragging out of their minds. Everyone is, as the casters say, firing on all cylinders.
It's not like there is a specific someone that has to carry the weight, for the team to win. So that's always a good news and good stats to see. In the case of BOBA, Sisu played extremely well. So I think they have a lot to look forward to. Of course, it's not the end of the day. End of the journey for Sisu as well. So a lot of things to, be excited about for us watching Changers.
Yeah, I'm actually now wondering about the third spot. So first one we have is Zipto, qualified for our Game Changers Pacific already. Second one, of course, is what we just saw, which is BOBA, and those two teams have a lot of history together, a lot of rivalries back and forth as well. But the third one, now that's a really interesting one because
we have
it would make sense.
Sisu, right? Yeah,
exactly. It would make sense for it to be Sisu, or previously known as Aura Differential, because they were that top third team from stage 1 of Game Changer Southeast Asia. But I believe we have a new challenger now, and that's Invincible GC. They look really good. I can't choose between the two.
I guess when we move on to the interview, it's better to ask the BOBA player, right?
Oh, yes.
I mean, they faced Sisu, so...
I guess we'll wait. Do we have the interview ready yet?
Is interview ready?
Oh, I think we're swapping to another player, so it's not... Yeah.
Because we just can't wait to hear from the player.
Yes, we can't wait.
Okay, the interview is ready. Here is Kohaibi, everyone. Hello, Kohaibi, and congratulations on making it to Pacific. Now, today was really close, but you guys got the job done. So how thrilled or relieved are you right now?
Very happy.
Very happy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just extremely happy.
Yeah.
Okay,
because
so
we get
you know,
to eat
Haven.
dessert.
Oh,
We're gonna eat dessert.
Dessert in Thailand.
Oh, the mango sticky rice, or
all the
like.
sweets, yeah. With coconut, a little bit of coconut. But congratulations on making it to Pacific. But Haven went overtime. You know, today was 3 mappers. What was going through your mind as you guys entered that overtime on Haven?
Nothing. We just play our own game. I don't know.
Okay, so you guys were pretty confident that even though it was overtime, you guys can win.
Yeah.
Okay. Quack, is
Wow.
there anything you want to ask?
Yeah, I mean, I do have a bit of a question in line with that because, you know, feeling confident is always important. But you guys, I think, were a bit challenged on Sunset for sure because, like, you know, you picked that one, but then you kind of lost it to Sisu. How confident were you going into Icebox, and how was the team's like feeling? Like, what was the vibe like? Did you guys mentally reset and just tell yourself like, okay, Icebox is for sure we're gonna win?
I think we did mentally reset, but we hate Icebox. Yeah.
You actually hate Icebox.
You hate Icebox?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys were like, oh, I hate Icebox, but you know what? We need to win this. We can win this.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, so you talked about having desserts in Thailand. It's going to be Zipdo, and you guys in Pacific, we still have one more team that can qualify. Who do you think will be the last team to qualify for Pacific and possibly have those desserts with you?
The team we played against because they're very good.
I guess
Okay,
it would be
Sisu?
Yeah, Sisu.
All right, Sisu would be your prediction. Okay, thank you, Kwaibi, once again. And you guys are facing Zipto, though, still in the playoffs. More matches for you to play in SEA. So what's your mindset going into that matchup? I mean, the rivalry.
Zipto did say that
Been
they
there
want to
forever.
play them. Yeah.
Best friends, I guess. We gonna play now together.
Okay,
Okay.
friends in the server. Outside the server as well.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Kohaivi, for the interview, and congratulations once again.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. All right,
was
best friends.
Kylie with the interview. She seems extremely happy and thrilled to go to Bangkok and eat some desserts, right?
Yeah, desserts. Lots of desserts, I guess.
But yeah, with today's win against Sisu, BOBA are in the Pacific contention. So congratulations once again to BOBA. They will be facing Zipdo moving forward in the playoffs. But we have 2 other matches coming up, which would be the elimination match. So I'm going to toss it over to a break. But thank you, Quack, for joining me on the desk. Job
Thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you, Jen.
Congratulations on getting your predictions right. But yeah, let's go over to a break, and then we'll be bringing you our next matchup of the day, Lilacs versus Cardboard Dinosaur. We'll see you soon.